Welcome anyone who's here, anyone who's going to join me. My name is Tracy Ventura, and also known as Woke Light Worker on social media. I have two cameras going, so I'm going to be looking both at my YouTube and at my TikTok and answering any questions that anyone has, anything to do with higher self hypnosis or past life regression, because I do both. So let me see. Alan Davis says hello, Tracy. Hi, Alan. Okay, so I guess I'll just get started. I'm going to tell you guys, just while I have just a few people here, I want to tell you guys about some of my favorite books. I know I have a video on YouTube about my favorite books, but I brought a few of them here with me. The book that's at the top of my reading list right now, if you guys want to grow, and I don't get anything for promoting these books, by the way, but my favorite book right now, recommend to almost all of my clients when I do higher self hypnosis sessions, is this one. It's probably backwards, but it's called One Truth, One Law, I Am, I Create, by Erin Worley, Erin, Erin Worley. And it's a really thin book, you can see, but it's at the top of my reading list right now. And I absolutely love it because this woman, Erin, was in the shower and she came out of the shower and ran to her husband freaking out because she said she heard God talking to her in the shower. And so her husband had her lay down on the sofa and he started asking the God voice that was in her all kinds of questions. And that's what this little book is. And so it's on Audible and it's on paperback. But again, it's called One Truth, One Law, I Am, I Create. It's the top of my reading list right now. Love, love, love this book. And like it says on the back, who are we? Why are we here? How does our world exist? How can we access the intuitive voice of God or the source and step into our role as an unlimited creator? This book has helped me learn more than anything how to live and be my higher self, live as my authentic God self and not be stuck in the ego as much. So that's why one of the reasons I love this. But I do recommend, if you're going to read this book, that you don't just read it one time and put it down and go, oh, that was a great book. Because this book I've probably read, and between reading and listening to it, at least 60 times already. And every single time I listen to this book, thank you. She said, I love your page. I'm good. So every time I read this book or listen to it on Audible, I get something new. It hits me a different way. It hits me from a different perspective. I've got new information to compare it to. And it's just really, it's a living book. So top of the reading list if you guys are interested. But a question I get a lot from people, hi Shakti, I'm good, thank you. A question I get a lot from people, I have it read in like one day. That was the beginning of my awakening. Angie said, yeah, it's a really, really good book. You need to get back to that book. Yes. So let me tell you guys really quickly, because a question I get a lot is, because I hear from my spirit team all the time. Like I'm always hearing from my spirit team. And I'll just tell you guys, I woke up this morning and I like to talk to my spirit team. And I told them, I said, I don't want to come across to anyone like, oh, I'm better than you. Like, look at me. I can hear from my team all the time. So let me just tell you guys a really quick story. Before the 2020 event happened, when everything got locked down, I don't want to say it out loud to get banned or anything, but before that happened, I'm going to tell you how to begin to speak with your spirit guides. So hold on, guys. That's where I'm going to go with this. Before it happened, I used to drag my daughter, who was about 11 years old at the time, and she's actually sitting in the room listening to me now. Now she's 15. But I used to drag her along to all kinds of meetup groups. So I'd go to meetup.com, and I live in the Washington, D.C. area, and there are a ton of healers and a ton of spiritual groups you could join on meetup.com. So I was going to all kinds of them, and I would see all these people in these groups who were just hearing things left and right from their spirit guides, from their higher self, from creator. And I'd just be looking at them going, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I would so love to be able to do that. Like, what do I need to do to get there? So I set that as my goal. So if you want to learn how to really connect with your spirit team, I'm going to tell you what I did. I was reading this book by this really incredible author named Sanaya Roman, and she wrote a book called Learn to Channel or How to Channel It, something like that. But Sanaya Roman is her name. Um, and she said in that book, I wasn't ready to learn how to channel quite at that time, but one thing stood out in that book, and the book is written. You're welcome for posting every day. One thing she said in that book was, you can ask for a high level guide anytime you want, and you'll get one like instantly. So I was like, what? Yeah, of course I want a high level guide. So I instantly was like, okay, universe, give me a high level guide. And this is how I want it to look, trying to be the control freak here. I'm like, this is how it should look. I want this high level guide to take any and all of my other guides and like filter them through my high level guide so I hear only one voice. Because I was thinking maybe I was just kind of hearing too many different voices and it was just being confusing for me. What?
Yeah, your main guide.
Yes, to be my main guide. I want one high level guide, a main guide. And then I said, so then I just instantly believed that, okay, I've got it because I asked for it. I need to believe it and I'll receive it. So then I said, and I was standing in my closet. So I remember doing this. And I said, okay, the first name that comes to my mind on the count of 3, I'm going to call my new high level guide by that name. And I'm going to assume that that's my guide's name. So I just went 1, 2, 3, and the name Jacob came to my mind. And I was like, okay, I definitely probably wouldn't have thought of the name Jacob. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to call him Jacob. So from that point on, I started talking the afterlife. Yes, it does exist. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Remind me, talk about the afterlife. Okay. My daughter's here. So I told her to remind me to go back to that question that you don't have your name on there, but they just asked. And yeah, your higher self can switch that on for you. So ask your higher self to assign to you a high level guide. Then I said, I want all my other guides to literally be filtered through my high level guide. So I'm hearing one voice. So it's all like unity. And I want that high level guide to almost like be the team leader of all my spirit guides. So I'm telling you guys, after I did that, I said, okay, every single morning, I got up in the morning and I said, okay, now next step, I want my high level guide to scream so loud in my ears that I cannot miss him. That's the second thing I did. So I said, I want you to scream so loud in my ears that I cannot miss you. And I said that every single day. And I probably said it multiple times a day. And then I kept getting like nudges and feelings. And I knew I needed to do a lot of trauma healing. I mean, guys, like I have a lot of trauma healing that I had to go through, and I still do some, but I've gotten the big chunk of it behind me, thank God. And that allows me to do what I'm doing now, because I can't imagine being able to do this, holding on to all that trauma that I had. But I kept getting these nudges with my new high level guide. I kept feeling nudges to take a bath, and I hadn't taken a bath in years prior to that, but I kept feeling and hearing, like almost hearing in my mind, but not hearing words, but you need to take a bath. You need to take a bath. You need to take a bath. So I started taking baths, and then I'd hear, 2 nights later, you need to take a bath. And then like a couple nights later, you need to take a bath. So I kept finding myself about 3 or 4 times a week feeling led or nudged to get in the bathtub. And I would be in the bathtub, I kid you not, for 2 hours at a time. And I'd have meditation or Reiki music playing. And I'd have, my salt rock lamp or some light candles. And then maybe bring a book with me or something. And I'm going to show you guys in just a minute the book that I would bring with me that helped me get so much healing. I will share that with you in just 1 minute. I have it next to me. But I would sit in the bathtub and I would start out just by doing some breathing. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing what I felt like I was supposed to do. Okay. I didn't read a book on how to do this bathtub healing. So I was just following my intuition. So we got to learn to trust what we're hearing. That's a big thing, is learning how to trust your intuition. If you feel like you're being led to do something, just do it. Just obey. Just do it.
If you hear a voice, like you have to trust it. That's then you hear.
Yeah. Okay. My 15-year-old daughter's here, and she said, and if you hear a voice, like something telling you to go do something, trust that that's your team, that you're not crazy and you're not making it up, and just go obey it. See what happens. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? You got a bath and you got clean, right? So I found myself being in the bathtub for 2 hours, and believe it or not, like the water didn't even get cold. It was the weirdest thing. Like I'm in the bathtub for 2 hours, but I would start with some breathing, and I just take some deep breaths in and let it out. And then I'd set the intention that I was going to connect with my spirit team when I did that. Then Oh, thank you. Loving the hair. She said, thank you. Yeah, I tried to curl it before I got started here rather than always wearing it up, right? And that's how you got your dog, you said. Well, anyway, so let me go back to this story. So then I would say, what are we going to work on? I just looked at my team, had my team there, and I said, what are we going to work on? And I would just follow my thoughts wherever they went. So I don't know if you all know my story. I'm not going to go into it too much. I'll share it more another time maybe, but I have a 5-month-old daughter that was killed by my ex-husband. So I had some trauma to heal. I kid you not. I had some major trauma, and that wasn't even all the trauma that I had. So one time I found myself in the bathtub, and, I thought I had done a lot of healing over the loss of my daughter because it had been 20 some years since my daughter was killed. And she was 5 months old, and I wasn't home, but I thought I had done a lot of healing on that. And then I found myself in the bathtub asking my team one time, okay, what are we going to work on today? And somehow the thought of her came up in my mind. I just kind of followed my thoughts wherever they went. If it got distracted on what am I going to make for dinner or whatever, I just bring it back and start breathing again and be like, nope, I'm here in this healing experience. I'm here in the now. I'm not thinking about dinner. I'm not thinking about what my kids are doing. I'm not thinking about, what I got to do tomorrow for work. I would just, thank you. It is very sad. It's sad, but she's around a lot, and she's always with my daughter. I got my 15-year-old daughter. Come here. You should say hi to everybody. My 15-year-old daughter is here, and she's my little spiritual guru. She's my teacher. That's my daughter. Her name is Cherish. And she actually, you want to sit here with me? She actually is here. Sit on my lap. She actually, so she's 15. She actually is doing all kinds of spiritual classes and training, but I've been dragging her with me to spiritual conferences in LA and all over the place, and all kinds of spiritual meetups since she was 10 or 11 years old. She's been coming with me. So she's very awake. She's very psychic. She's training to learn even more. So it's really exciting. So I don't know what anybody's saying about that. Beautiful. What a beautiful young woman, radiating light. Yes, she is. Oh, they said, hi, Cherish. She's so beautiful. Yeah. Somewhat Wild Interior said, it's always just my own voice. Then I doubt it. Right, guys, it is your own voice. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I tell my clients when I do higher self hypnosis sessions with them. I tell them that if we're just going to simplify things a lot, there's 2 voices that are really speaking in you. There is your ego voice, or your persona, the personality that you created to walk around on this earth. That's one of the voices.
And any other being part of creator. You don't know who it could be, because it could be any angel, your higher self. It could be creator, just solely creator energy. But either way, it's from creator event, one way or another, and it's meant for you to hear, and it's in your best and highest interest. So you need to listen immediately and believe it and follow it. And the second thought that comes is your thought, but the first thought that comes is not your thought. It's not your ego mind, and it's usually the better thought.
Yeah, what she said. I told you guys, she's amazing. She's a blue avian, so she's a star seed. And I'll tell you this quick story, and then I'm going to get back to telling you guys about hearing from your spirit team. She was probably maybe 8 years old, and I bought this book, and I forget the name of it, but it had a picture on the cover, called My Alien Self or something. And it had a picture of a blue avian alien on the cover. And I literally just opened it, and had just gotten it from Amazon. And I had it sitting on the counter, and she walks by it. And I don't know if these were her exact words, but it was just like this. And she said something like, that's me. That's me. That's me. That's my people. And I was like, what? And it was a blue avian, and she was 8 years old. So
and
I have to believe that.
Staring at it, I felt so drawn to it. I don't know why, but I was just staring at it and just tracing it for minutes. And I don't know, it just felt right.
Yeah. So that's how we discovered that she's a blue avian. So she always throws it in my
psychic tells they don't even hear it from you, but they say blue avian, blue avian, blue avian. Blue
yeah.
avian.
And so she's a higher dimensional being than I am. And so she lets me know that all the time. She's a higher dimensional being than I am.
Well, we're all high dimensional beings. It's just like I'm used to being. I prefer to be higher up than you do, but that's nothing against you. It's just like I don't like being with humans and low.
She actually has a really hard time. Like, we won't go into it, but she's like really struggling. She struggles a lot being human on this planet. And anyway, so that's
I came here to literally change the whole course of the planet and to raise all humans. Like, I don't like humans, and I'm gonna change it. Like,
I have a picture of her when she was 9 years old in Halloween, and she had her nose painted black with whiskers sticking out like this, and it said on her head, and she did this all on her own, and it said, "I hate people." So I was like, what?
And I was just like, can you do this for me? Like, I don't know. And like, I just wanted you to do
it. Same each time I see an Arcturian picture. Yeah. So that's my connection is Arcturian. So I got you, Arcturian. But yeah, we got this blue avian over here. But anyway, so yeah.
Wait,
so
and I'm gonna become a medium. Yeah, I kind of already am. But like,
yeah, she has a lot of psychic abilities. She's developing Oh, okay. Yeah. She has a lot of psychic abilities, and I give her lots of classes. Right now, she's taking a class called Theta Healing. She's going to be in the 3rd level in just a little bit. The last 2 weekends, three-day weekends, she has spent doing Theta healing classes. And that is an incredible healing modality. I don't teach it. It would be too much for me to take on, but it is an incredible healing modality. If you guys want to know the name, if you're serious about learning Theta healing, I can totally connect you and hook you up with an amazing teacher. She's amazing, isn't she?
Beth Newman.
Yes, but I'll hook them up if you guys want to.
But remember that name, Beth Newman.
Yeah, if you guys want to email me, I'll give you a formal invite, and she can send you all the information. But Theta healing, it's like each class is like 3 days. Some of it is 2 days. And it's all about changing belief systems, pulling beliefs that no longer serve you. I took the first 4 levels of Theta healing. So it's literally only 10 days of classes. And I'm telling you, that was also part of my healing journey, is the Theta healing. I got in four classes of Theta healing, or 10 days, what I know for a fact. I just know it would have taken me about 2 years to heal on my own. Like, that's how intense and deep these courses are. Like, you're sitting there for 6 hours and you are working and you're digging and pulling trapped emotions, which I do that in my hypnosis session. So in my hypnosis sessions, my higher self sessions, I take Theta healing, and I take a lot of modalities, but Theta healing is the main one. And I put it inside of the shell of QHHT, or Dolores Cannon's method. So it's not just QHHT. It's not just Dolores Cannon's method. And now, super exciting news, I'm starting training tomorrow with a gentleman who has his own type of hypnosis that does massive, deep inner child healing. And it's completely different than QHHT. It's completely different than Theta healing. It's incredible. And so I'm going to be training intensely one-on-one with him for the next 4 months. So I'm super excited to bring that also into my higher self hypnosis sessions, because you guys are going to get the benefit of that.
I know that Theta healing is trademark.
Yeah.
So you have to say, I'm just saying, you have to say it's by Vienna.
But yeah, Theta healing is developed by Vienna Steibel.
Yeah. And so anyone who teaches through it has to use her methods. And someone said, what is Theta? Like, my friend tried it once, but I guess the way someone taught it, she was turned off by it.
Oh yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Okay. If you guys want to, I'll give you her email, or her website. If you guys want to check it out, Beth Newman, her website is evolveinyourenergy.com. Please tell her I sent you. I do get a little discount on my classes, and I take a lot of classes from her and spend thousands of dollars with her. So please mention that you learned it from Tracy about her classes if you take it, because that'll help me pay for some of my classes. But anyway, so Beth Newman, she's incredible, but you can take it, and she teaches online. So you can be anywhere and take those classes. But I'm not here to promote Theta healing. But I just wanted to tell you guys that's another method you could do. But I want to go back to the story about so remember, I'll go back for anyone who just joined me to hear more from my spirit team. The first thing I did was I was reading a book, and it told me to ask for I can ask for a high level guide. So I asked for a high level guide. I got one. the first name that came to my mind was Jacob. So I said, okay, Jacob, you're my high level guide. I kept feeling him prompt me to go into the bathtub and take bathtub meditations. So, like I said, I would start out by doing some deep breathing and set the intention that, hey, I'm here. I want to do some healing. What does my spirit team want me to work on? And then I told you how I lost my daughter when she was 5 months old. And that was really traumatic, but this is 20 some years later. And I thought I had done a lot of healing about that. I thought I was pretty much not over it, but, really past the big part. And then in one of these bathtub meditations, I found myself curled up in the fetal position, just crying, like gut wrenching crying, just getting out more trauma, more sadness, more grief, because the events that unfolded right after her death, I did not get a chance to grieve then. I didn't. Just my life turned completely upside down and went beyond crazy, with more trauma, like way more trauma added on top of that trauma. And so I was married to a narcissist, and I think a lot of you probably know what narcissists do and how they work and how they operate. And actually, everybody, mark your calendar for December 6th. I'm going to be doing a mini course, and it's going to be really inexpensive, like $19 or something, but I'm going to teach a 2-hour class on gaslighting and narcissism. So that link will be on my website very soon. If you guys want, you can go to my website, wokelightworker.com, and get on my email list. And that way you'll be notified when I have classes like this, because that's going to be a 2-hour class I'm going to be teaching. And I lived it firsthand. I mean, my narcissist first husband is the one who killed my 5-month-old daughter. So, I mean, I've lived the worst of being with a narcissist. I know what it's like. I've studied it. I've healed from it. I've gotten a lot of guidance from my team about it. I've studied it a lot. I've taken courses on gaslighting and narcissism. I don't know everything. I'm not an expert, but I know what I lived. And I know that I work with a lot of clients in my sessions who I tend to attract a lot of people who are in relationships or trying to heal from relationships with gaslighters, manipulators, and narcissists.
And if you didn't go through that, you would not be a healer. You would not have found spirituality. Like, right. You are so different from how you were before you found spirituality. Like, everything about you is just 10 times better. You're 10 times happier. Yeah. You like the more ascended you get, just the more in love with life and yourself and the whole process you get. Like, you will never be like unhappy again. Like, it's crazy.
Well, I want to tell you guys super quick. I had a client today, and if she's on here, hi. I'm not going to name her name, of course. Let's see what people are. He went to prison. So my first husband went to prison. Unfortunately, he only went for 7.5 years. But he didn't, I will just say, he didn't do it on purpose. Like, it wasn't a malicious on purpose thing, because Creator showed me what he did. But he was too lazy to go to the basement and grab her bedding, which I had put in the laundry. He kicked me out of the house that night. My ex-husband kicked me out of the house that night. This was 25 years ago now, 25 and a half years ago. Kicked me out of the house like he always did. That was his thing, power control, kicked me out of the house. And then he wouldn't let me we had 3 kids. He wouldn't let me take any of the kids. And she was nursing. And usually I would just go around the corner and sit in my vehicle and cry my eyes out and beg God to save me for the next 2 hours. And then I would have to come home and apologize and say it was all my fault and I'm so sorry. And then he would let me back in the house, making me feel like it was all my fault, of course, all night long. And that I owed him now because I had created this big mess. But I didn't do that. I actually drove to the neighboring state and drove to my sister's house to come up with a plan to actually really leave him this time. And so I didn't come back that night. I was planning on coming back midday the next day after I really put a plan in place. But before I could get home the next day, I got a call that my daughter was dead. She was 5 months old. And instantly when I heard the news, Creator showed me in my mind exactly what happened. Like, I knew, like, it was just a complete drop in. Before my knees hit the ground, my legs gave out on me with the news. I saw an image of him putting a pillow over her bassinet because she was 5 months old and she couldn't get any air, but there were ruffles around the edge of the pillow. So he thought she could get air and she couldn't, all night long being in there. And so she suffocated.
We just did in one of my classes the other night, a psychic awareness class, we did readings on people who passed. We sent in pictures, and we sent in a picture of my sister, your daughter, and one person was like, I just like my whole body feels hot. Like I feel so like I just feel a burning sensation all throughout my body. I'm so hot. And and she was like my neck, and I feel like I can't breathe, and like they got everything.
Yeah, she got it. She was in a psychic class and she guessed what it, and so it confirmed what
guessing.
Well,
it's
no,
feeling.
But I mean, it's feeling,
It's
but
feeling.
It confirmed
It's
what Creator showed me in my mind of what had happened to her, because of course he went on trial right away and he would not admit anything. He didn't go on the stand. He wouldn't admit anything. But he got, so anyway, answering the one question that came up earlier. Yeah, he got 14 years in prison. And then with good time back then, he served 7.5 years. And yeah, so that's that story. But what other kind of comments are we getting?
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, I'll just let you guys know really quickly, and I'm going to get back to my story about the bathtub meditation and how to hear from your spirit team more. Thursday night, so today's Tuesday, Thursday night at 8:00 p.m. Eastern time, 5:00 p.m. Pacific time, I have another class coming up. It's the second time I'm offering a free course called Create a Life You Want to Live. And it was so good the first time. And I got 99 people leave me reviews, and they were almost all 5-star reviews, except I think one person basically wanted me to come into their living room and create their life for them. And so they didn't give me 5 stars. So that was interesting. But
it's all about self-work. You can take as many classes, you can listen to as many things, but it's literally an every day, every hour. It's all about your self-will and how much you actually believe it. Belief and trust and faith is key. Like it's just remembering, because
but the spiritual journey is not for the lazy, right?
Yeah, no.
It's not for the lazy.
I mean,
you can't have really big transformation in the spiritual journey if you're not going to put any work into it at all. It's not going to just fall out of the sky and change your life. You have to actually catch yourself thinking beliefs that are not in your best and highest good, and catch yourself how you talk to yourself. You're probably your worst critic. You got to catch how you're talking to yourself and stop. And so, like, one of the recommendations here, put that book up again. One of the recommendations in my favorite book, this one, the book that I talked about, in case you're just joining me, my favorite book now is I Am, I Create by Erin Worley. And one of the things she talks about is the Creator said through her, talk to your persona or your ego from the viewpoint of your higher self or your God self. So like if you catch yourself going, oh man, that was so stupid, how could I do that? Then you want to catch yourself and say out loud to yourself, wait a minute, Tracy, don't call yourself stupid. You're not stupid. Why would you call yourself stupid?
You're a divine spiritual being in a body.
Yeah.
And
you're not stupid.
You're going through tests right now. Why are you...
Don't be so harsh on yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
All you're doing is learning lessons, and every negative thing, every obstacle put into your life is simply something that is going to help you become stronger and more intellectual, more ascended, and become your best you. It's just how you take that test. And everyone's spiritual journey is different depending on how they want it. So you can be like, personally, she likes talking to her team more. I like talking to Creator more. And that's the same thing with Beth. Some people might like talking to fifth plane angels more. Yeah. Some people might talk into the laws more. Like it depends. Some people, they don't even want to talk much at all. They just want to hear, and just do. It doesn't have to be like this. It's, I don't even know how to explain it. Your spiritual journey is yours.
You said, how can we be with addiction? Because I'm so critical in my head every time I drink. Oh, someone else said, yes, definitely angels for me. I'm a big Erin Worley. You love that book. This is the best book, but you got to read it like 60, 70, 80 times. Because every time you read it, you'll get something new out of it. So being the critic, that's gonna how you can deal with the inner critic, guys. Oh gosh, that's like a whole topic in itself.
Wait,
isn't
what?
It? how to deal with your inner critic and beating yourself up. You literally just need to, you know what you can do? You can catch yourself every single time you're beating yourself up.
And change it to constructive criticism. Like, okay, I did that I should have handled that better. I should have said that better.
I could have.
I could have. And what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this experience? And how can I better it for the next time? Just complete constructive criticism,
right? And just talk to yourself again from the standpoint of your God self, of your higher self. Yes. And just be like, you know what? Yep. You drank last night. I'll just use this for me. Yep. You ate some Halloween candy last night. You ate a bunch of sugar you didn't want to eat. You did it this time, and you did it the day before, and you did it the day before, and you did it the day before. But you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. We can do this. Let's just ask my team for help in doing this. I'm going to call in the big guns. I'm going to ask them for more support. Give me some more ideas, higher self. Give me some more ideas, team. What can I do? What is it? This is my favorite question. Guys, you want to hear the one question that will help you change your life more than anything? This is what it is. If you want to write this down, like, just remember this. Like, this has literally changed my life. Asking myself this one question all the time. What is it in me that needs to be healed in order for me to blank? What is it in me that needs to be healed in order for me to whatever, not be triggered by that person talking to me like that, to not fly off the handle every time someone insults my dinner? What is it in me that needs to be healed in order for me to not need alcohol to numb my reality, to numb my pain?
It's simply another obstacle put there to help you learn that lesson. So when you think about what lesson it's teaching you and how you can better yourself to overcome it, then problem solved. Yeah. It's all about yourself.
Yeah. It's always an us issue. It's never the other person issue. It's always an us issue.
They're simply there to help you realize it.
Yeah, they're just there. And when you no longer need the teacher, you'll move out of their life or they'll move out of your life. So let's say, to go back to the example of the narcissist or the gaslighter again, if they're in your life, it's because you need that experience. You need that person to be a teacher for you. They're showing you something. They're showing you areas you need to heal in yourself. They're teaching you some lesson. They're teaching you how to have healthy boundaries, how to get away from toxicity, how to protect yourself, how to shield yourself, whatever the lesson might be. And again, December 6th, I'm going to be offering a super low cost class on gaslighters and narcissists. So go to my website. This website, it's called The Conscious Creators Path, and it's plural, theconsciouscreatorspath.com. And that you can, you'll be able to see classes that are coming up. But if you join my mailing list, guys, by clicking on my photo, my bio, there's a link in there that you can join my email list so that you can be notified of all the courses I have coming up. My gosh, guys, I have that one on narcissists and gaslighters coming up in December. January, I'm actually teaching a whole class. It's going to be 4 weeks on how to be your higher self, to live as your higher self. What does it take to get there? And then in February, the month of love, because of Valentine's Day, I'm teaching a course 4 weeks. It's going to be an hour and a half a week on radical self-love. If there is one, the top 2 things that everyone in their higher self hypnosis sessions, almost every single person, 99.9% of people, that they need to work on and heal in their higher self hypnosis sessions, I'll tell you the top 2 things. It's self-worth and self-love. Those are the top 2 things. And so, like in my higher self hypnosis sessions, the question I have is, what blocks or beliefs does this person have that's preventing them from being able to love themselves? So what are those blocks and beliefs? And then we pull those, we examine those. I ask their higher self to pull those beliefs. And then I say, now, can you download Creator's definition and perspective of self-love into them? And tell us what that looks like as you do that. And then their higher self will say, yep, I can download that into them because we pulled all this other junk. Now I can download it and it looks like pink sparkles coming out of the sky and filling every cell of their body, or, or whatever.
Golden liquid, whatever
it is.
Literally, there's so many different imaginations. And also, that is also part of Theta healing.
Yes.
You pulling beliefs and downloading new beliefs through creator's perspective, because creator's perspective is complete self-love, it's complete love, complete acceptance. There's literally no room for any ounce of negativity, any ounce of
everything is perfect.
Everything is just love and light. It literally is love and light energy.
Right.
So the more connected to creator we are, the more love and light that we are.
Yeah. That we feel, that we experience.
I mean, we are part of creator. We literally are part of creator. So once you just get back to that and remember that and realize that, then
yeah. So somebody said, I signed up for your class in November, but I'm not too sure. Is there a way you can check? Can you just email me at tracy@wokelightworker.com and we'll verify that you're on the list. You probably are, but just verify. Guys, I forgot to tell you, in November, so starting November 8th, so a week from today, right? November, well, whatever it is.
In 7 days. Yeah.
I have a class coming up called the 4-week Spiritual Awakening Boot Camp. And oh my gosh, guys, I'm covering so much. Like, I hope I can get everything in. I'm planning an hour and a half a week. And so my early bird price is still on. We're actually going to probably leave it on until the day of, but it's $99. And then it's the day of, it's going to go up to $149. But it's 4 weeks of, I mean, guys, I'm pouring my heart. This work is my heart and my soul. Is it my heart and my soul?
She doesn't do anything but hypnosis, healing, just work.
That's my life.
Crazy.
That's my life. She's like always finding me in my computer, like working on my business, or that's all I do. Like, guys, I love this. This is my life. Or making TikToks, right? Or walking my dog and I'm listening to audiobooks so that I can use it in my sessions and use it in teaching. And but guys, my 4-week Spiritual Awakening Bootcamp, I'm going to cover so much stuff, like how to connect more with your guides, with your higher self, with what is spirituality, and what if you feel like you're alone in this journey and spirituality? Like, how do you handle that when everyone around you says you're crazy and, you know, they think you've gone off the deep end because you're talking and looking at, you know, stuff that you never did before because you grew up religious and that's not part of who you are. But we're going to cover so much stuff. I wish I had my outline in front of me so I could actually tell you the different stuff we're going to cover, but it's a lot of stuff that we're going to be covering.
And someone asked, how do I ask my higher self for help? It's simply, they're always listening to you. They're always,
your higher self is you. Let me answer this one, because I'm going to tell you guys what I tell people in my class, in my sessions. And I have my incredible operations manager named Chris. He's online and he's chatting me on Skype, telling me that some of the main questions that you guys are asking me. So Chris, I appreciate it because I know you're there watching me, and he's always there for me. Like, he's the best. But I tell everybody, there's really, simplify it. There's 2 voices inside of you that are always talking. You have your persona or your ego voice. In this book that I told you, I recommend I Am, I Create by Erin Worley. She talks about, she doesn't call it the ego, she calls it the persona. And so you have your persona voice, which is the one telling you, like, you want to start a business, and it's the voice that says, oh no, don't do that, sister, because remember last time you did that?
Or what could go wrong? What about money this?
You're not going to make it.
Like, yeah.
How are you going to pay your bills?
Any doubt, it's not anything from creator.
It's not your higher self either.
Well, higher self is from creator. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Any energy that is from creator, which is creators up here, and every plane, every being, every energy, every angel is down below. You're right here. You're part of that. We're all part of it. So any voice you hear that is not the persona, any voice you hear that is not love and light, your and complete motivation and just possibility and love is your persona.
It's the thing you've created to walk around on this earth.
And the thing to overcome.
Yeah, the thing to overcome. You don't have to. You can choose to walk around as your ego or your persona as much as you want. I mean, look, we're surrounded by people who do that, right? I mean, they're just not interested in changing or being different. Yeah. But if you want to overcome that and be more of your higher self, to embrace more, embody more of being your higher self is you. But it just depends. It's just like going to the gym. If you work your muscles, you're going to have nice toned muscles. But if you don't work on hearing and connecting with your higher self voice, then it's not going to be the stronger voice. Your persona or your ego voice, the doubting, negative, disbelieving, oh, you can't do that. Brush your teeth or they're going to rot and fall out. You know, I mean, just negative. And that is the voice that's going to be stronger in you. So it's a matter of you working on being more of your higher self. And like I said earlier, it's talking to yourself all the time. When you catch yourself, it's catching your words, especially your words, catching your thoughts, going, oh no, why would you think that way, that you can't start your own business? Of course you can, especially since I feel like it's part of my purpose. You might say to yourself, I feel like it's part of my purpose. And I know that my abundance is going to be on the path to my purpose, because there's no way that I set up a purpose before I came here and then I said, oh yeah, you're going to do your purpose and it's going to leave you completely broke. No way would I have done that to myself. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
You create your reality, and every day you keep creating your reality. So if you want to be broke and you're speaking of that, you're going to be broke. You're creating your reality. So if you are choosing to go down that path every day and focusing on that, that's going to happen. And we didn't even finish, how do I talk to my higher self? Literally, so if you is I'm talking to you right now, I could just as easily just speak to any energy, any angel, any being that includes my higher self. They're with you all the time. They're in you. They are you. They are listening. It's all about belief. When you hear it back, then you just have to believe that that's what you're hearing, and ask specifically, you want to speak to your higher self, or I want to speak to the laws, or I want to speak to creator, just straight up to creator to get the best and highest truth and alignment, or I want to speak to the archangels.
Oh, okay. So someone asked, can we do hypnotherapy if we've never meditated before? And does hypnosis actually work? I'm just going to tell you guys, I tell people when they come to my higher self hypnosis sessions, I say, okay, take everything you've ever thought about hypnosis and throw it out the window, because that's not what this is. So what this is it's really putting you in a relaxed, guided, meditative state, and then having you visualize things. So the way I do it now, you do have to be able to visualize. I have done a few with people and they couldn't visualize. I didn't know it until they got to the session, because they told me they could, but when we got to the session, they actually
I didn't even think that was possible. I didn't think that you some people can't.
Some people can't. But listen to this. So then we go by feeling. I say,
we made a soul contract before coming down here that they couldn't visualize, because that's crazy.
Well, higher self has told me that everyone can. It just takes practice, and you put up a block. For some reason, you put up a block. So let me finish telling this story, though. This is my daughter, everyone, by the way, Cherish. My 15-year-old, who is like a spiritual genius, too. But she, what was the story? What was I saying? Oh my gosh.
Hypnosis. How does it?
The higher self has said that you can do it. You can visualize. It's just a block you put in your way, and you need to just practice, set the intention you're going to remove it if you feel like you can't visualize. But the way I do my sessions right now, and that's going to be changing, I think, but the way I do my sessions now is you have to be able to visualize. And from the time someone books an appointment with me to do higher self hypnosis, which again is like a deep meditation, it's not hypnosis like you might think it is. It's really not. And then you're just channeling your higher self, which again, your higher self is you. So it's the other voice. You have your persona voice, you have your higher self voice. Whichever voice you practice using the most is the one that's more prominent in your mind and in your life. So it's really a matter of catching yourself, everything you think, everything you talk, you say, and catching yourself. Do I want to be coming at this from a perspective of being my higher self? Or do I want to come at being at it from my lower self, which is your persona or your ego? I'm telling you guys, there's way more peace, way more joy, way more love and calmness and just acceptance.
It's just about what you choose
of being connected to your higher self. And I've lived
source.
The extreme of being in my persona and living with a narcissist and abuse and all of that, and being really in the drama and trauma of life, growing up my whole life. And I will tell you, I've never had more peace in my life since I set the intention and went on this spiritual journey really fast and really hard and took the fast track. But so I have my clients from the time they book a session with me until they do their session, they have to meditate every single day. And if you go to my website, so guys, all of my stuff across social media is under the name Woke Lightworker. So on YouTube, you can watch my full sessions under Woke Lightworker. You can find me on Facebook under Woke Lightworker, on Pinterest, Woke Lightworker. You can find me on TikTok, of course, Woke Lightworker. So YouTube, Woke Lightworker. Okay, it's all the same. I'm trying to keep it consistent.
Because you asked that like twice. So I want to make sure that's answered.
Okay, so we'll talk about the V word, but we're not going to say it on here. Okay, the thing that happened in 2020, and then the thing they came up with to try to combat the thing that happened in 2020. So we'll talk about that next. But where was I going with that? Oh, so I have a tab on my website, wokelightworker.com, that says meditations. They're not my meditations, not out there yet. I have some I've done, but I haven't put them out there. But they are meditations that I tell my clients, my future clients, to practice with, because I want you to be able to quiet your mind enough and visualize in order to do a session with me. Because I want you to make sure that when you're spending this kind of money with me doing a hypnosis session, that you can actually get all of the answers and you're not struggling in the session to feel like you're connecting with your higher self. So you're training your brain how to quiet your ego mind while you channel through your higher self. Because again, you have both voices speaking through you. So you have your ego mind that's always the negative, doubting, disbelieving, you can't do that. Oh, don't do that. That'll happen. You have that, hold on. And then you're practicing in meditation, quieting that voice. Okay. Getting away from social media, TV, all of that. Quiet that voice, and then just practice quieting everything and hearing that still small voice, creator's voice, your higher self. Okay. And that is what you want to practice. And that's how you're going to get in touch. That, and the other big thing that helped me really be able to hear from my spirit team was trauma healing. And I'm going to have a 4-week class coming up in March. So look for that. And that's going to be on healing. It's going to include emotional healing. We're going to talk about a little bit of physical healing. But first thing is, you have to believe that healing is possible and that you can be healed. I had a session today, and one of the questions I asked her higher self was, does she have any blocks or beliefs that might prevent her from being able to accept Creator's definition of worthiness in her? Like if we wanted to download Creator's definition of worthiness into her, what kind of blocks or beliefs does she have that might prevent that from sticking, so to speak? And her higher self said she has a lot of fears. And I said, tell me what her biggest fear is. Let's address her biggest fear. Because we could have been in a session all night and talking about all her fears, right? But I said, let's talk about her biggest fear. And her session is actually going to get posted on my Patreon channel. So guys, on my Patreon channel, if you go to patreon.com, it's also Woke Lightworker. So you can watch, I put all my new sessions out there, all my best sessions. So you can see my newest work. And you can join out there. So her higher self said her biggest fear is that she will never finish this healing journey because it just seems so overwhelming for her. It feels like she's got so much trauma and so much to heal that she's never going to be done with it. So that was her biggest fear. So I said to her higher self, is that true? I mean, it was a rhetorical question, of course. I said, well, is that true? Is she never going to be done with this healing journey? Is she never going to get to the other side? That was the words that was used. Is she never going to get to the other side of this healing journey? And her higher self said, of course that's not true. And I said, well, what can you do to show her the truth, the real truth, the highest truth in this, that she will be able to get to the other side? And then we just kind of continued and carried on from there. But you can get through this. And that is another thing that helps you to hear from your spirit team even more, is when you heal trauma, when you deal with your trauma. I want to pull this book up, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm going to move my daughter for 1 second and grab this book. Okay.
In case you lose.
This is a book, especially if you guys are coming from religion, Christianity in particular. This book is called The Jeshua Channelings, and it's by a woman named Pamela Kribbe, Kribbe, The Jeshua Channelings. And it really talks about what is a light worker. Because I heard in my head one time, my spirit team, when I got my new high level guide named Jacob, he told me you're a light worker when I was sitting there meditating one day. And I was like, what's a light worker? I never heard that term before. Never heard it. I was like, I don't even know what that is. Is that even a thing? Am I hearing? Like, I know I heard Jacob, my guide Jacob, say that. What is a light worker? I didn't know. Then I found this book not long after that, the Joshua Channelings. And it's a book channeled by the soul who came and incarnated as Jesus. And he talks about why he wants to be called Joshua and not Jesus, and that he's not happy that they made a religion out of him. And it wasn't about the man, it was about the message of unity, oneness, and love, unconditional love, and creator's love. And that's what he came here to teach. He did not. And it actually goes into a lot more. But in this book, the Joshua Channelings, he channels to the author Pamela and gives all kinds of incredible ways that we can heal ourselves. So going back to my earlier bathtub story, if you missed it, my high-level guide that I asked for would ask me to go into the bathtub 3 to 4 times a week, 2 hours at a time, and meditate. I would bring this book with me, the Joshua Channelings, and I had gone through and highlighted tons of things in there that Yeshua said that we could use to help us in our healing journey. And it was profound. It was profound. Like, there were things in there I would take in the bathtub with me, and I would work on it with my spirit team, and I would get tremendous healing. And like I said earlier, one of the times was when I found myself curled up in the fetal position, crying over the death of my 5-month-old daughter, and just bawling and bawling and bawling and letting all of that grief and heartache and just trapped grief I had had in there for 20 some years just come barreling out. And then at the end, it was like it was released. And then I went to my bed and I journaled and, got a lot more. And
yeah, journaling is really good too.
Yeah. So I know there's more comments coming in.
Let me answer this one first because
I have a hypnosis hangover. What does that mean? Someone said.
Love it.
I can't stop thinking of your video on negative intentions in the V, and we're not going to name that word because it's the thing that happened in 2020, and then they came up with for it. How can we undo that belief in negative intentions?
Christian said something to the group chat yesterday, or to you.
I know,
remember?
But we're going to talk about this from a spiritual perspective, though. So just hold on.
Was it not a spiritual perspective?
I don't think so. Sorry, everyone. Okay. This is my daughter, Cherish. She's helping me here.
I think
what? Okay, let me tell you about a session I had yesterday. So, and that topic kind of came up, but it was actually about the virus. So it wasn't about the thing to supposedly get rid of the virus, but it was about the actual virus. And this is not this first session that I've heard someone's higher self. So when I have several sessions where people's higher selves, who these people have never talked and they're months apart and they don't know each other and they're from different areas of the country, sometimes different areas of the world, say the same thing, I definitely listen. And so this was of what other people's higher selves have said, that it is man-made, it is set with a negative intention, that it would cause a lot of chaos and, problems, major problems.
And it's just been, proven, like people have died, people have had their lungs collapse, people have all sorts of things from it.
And that also the thing they made to, try to quote unquote help with it is also, obviously it's man-made. They made it. But that it was also just like the original thing made with a negative intention, and it had negative energy put into it when it was made. So did the antidote have negative energy and a negative intention put into it when it was made. But it's an energetic intention. And so it can be deactivated, so to speak, with energy healing. Not to say that it can ever be fully removed from your body. And let me just use an analogy to that. So, when some people have AIDS or herpes or lots of other viruses, the virus can be dormant in their body. But if you were to test their blood, it would still show up in their blood that it's in their body, right? But it can be dormant. And so what a number of higher selves have told me anyway, and this is in my session, so if it contradicts what anyone else says, I can only speak for what happens in my higher self hypnosis sessions, okay? And this is, again, multiple people's higher selves have said that it can be made to be dormant in your body so that it won't cause any problems, it won't cause any harm, but it was made with the intention of leaving behind, and they called it, higher selves have called it a calling card, quote unquote, called it a calling card, that it leaves it behind in your body like a tracer, like, hey, I've been here. So almost like I said, like dormant, having like dormant herpes or dormant AIDS or HIV in your body, that you can get it so that it's not active in your body and not causing problems in your body anymore. But every time you're exposed to it, it leaves a calling card in your body. So this, again, is just what people's higher selves have said, multiple people's higher selves. Again, in a session yesterday, this was said by someone else's higher self. So I don't know that there's any belief around it other than maybe, and then setting the belief that, yeah, this, I can actually just ask for this to be removed from my body. And if not removed, made completely dormant in my body and take away any and all ill effects of it. And just live in the belief and the faith that it's done. When you ask for it, it's just like going to a restaurant. You don't put your order in and then follow the server back to the kitchen and watch them make your food to make sure they're making your food. You trust that your food's being made and it's going to be brought to you. It's going to be delivered. So it's the same thing whenever you put a request into Creator, to the universe, that you that it's gonna be done. Have faith and believe in it. And that's your belief right there. That's your belief that I put this request in and it's done. And trust in that. Trust in your team. Trust in Creator. You guys are Creator. We are God. We are Creator. So it doesn't really make sense. How do we not trust in ourselves? I mean, we're Creator, right? So just trust in that fact. What was this question you wanted me to look at? What session would you recommend for a beginner because you lost me? What do you mean, what session? Oh, do you mean my classes? If you're talking about the courses that I'm offering, and I keep flashing my Band-Aid here like it's like a badge of honor or something. I cut my hand really bad today. But I have a course coming up starting November 8th, you guys. And especially if you're new in spirituality, even if you're not, I'm going to cover stuff that you guys probably haven't heard before, because this is stuff I learned primarily in my higher self hypnosis sessions, hundreds of sessions. I've done probably maybe even 1,000 or more now. I honestly do not count. I work 70, 80 hours a week as it is. I don't have time to track a lot of extra stuff. So I do my sessions. That takes all day long. And then I'm running the business another 4 or 5 hours every day. My weekends are spent doing this. I try to take a half a day off once a week. But so I have a class coming up, a 4-week class starting November 8th. So it's going to be Tuesday nights at 8:30. At 8:30 on Tuesday nights for an hour and a half. And it's called Spiritual Awakening Boot Camp. And it's for 4 weeks. And you can sign up on my website, theconsciouscreatorspath.com, or go to my TikTok, which is Woke Lightworker. Find me on TikTok if you're not there already. And you can click on my bio, my little picture. And then in there's a link where you can register for my free course this Thursday, which is Create a Life You Want to Live. Guys, I packed so much into that class. Like, you're going to love it. I got so many good reviews on that class. I can't wait to teach it again. And then my 4-week spiritual awakening, and that's this Thursday, November 3rd. And then my spiritual awakening boot camp is for 4 weeks. And that starts on Tuesday, November 8th. What was it?
Okay. Are you done with what you're
Yes,
saying?
I think I'm done with what I was saying. I'm telling you guys, like, I could go on and talk forever.
Okay, one, that's a door. That's not a wall. Someone was like, is it a wall?
Oh, that's a door behind
moved.
me. It moved. My husky keeps
like,
coming in and out.
Opens like this. Yeah. And okay, also, I was also born with a chemical imbalance in my brain, and I was born with several. I wanted to come down with several disorders, and then gain several disorders from a traumatic experience. There are a couple traumatic experiences, and because like she commented like something about BPD, like
bipolar disorder. Okay.
No,
borderline personality disorder.
Borderline personality disorder. And I know how that takes a toll over every second of every day. And yes, this completely s- depending on how much healing you want, your spiritual journey can completely erase any trauma you experience from it, because if you learn the lessons that it was given to you to learn, and then I don't know if she or he, but I'm assuming she said you should get a personal assistant. Don't you have a personal
I
assistant?
do have an assistant, and I still work 70 and 80 hours a week. I have a team of 4 other people. Somebody said you should get an assistant. I do. I have 4 other people that work with me. My amazing operations manager is on TikTok right now, and he's on my other screen. I have 3 screens going here, and he's messaging me, telling me things to remember to tell you guys that my screen name across all social media platforms is Woke Lightworker. He said, make sure you tell him that it's on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Patreon. It's all Woke Lightworker. You guys can find all my stuff. You can watch full sessions on my YouTube channel, and you can watch full sessions, even more sessions, on my Patreon channel. And then he said, my courses, you guys can find all of the information on my courses at this different website, unfortunately. You can find it in my bio in TikTok or in my bio in Instagram. Or you can go to theconsciouscreatorspath.com, theconsciouscreatorspath.com. And then where's my journal? Is my journal down there? Did I bring my journal?
No. Wait, yeah.
I made a journal, guys, and we're going to use this journal in my free class this Thursday, November 3rd. It's called the Conscious Creators Daily Journal. And my higher self channeled it to me. So I literally cannot even take credit for it, because it took me 5 minutes to write down. My higher self said, get a piece of paper out at 3:00 in the morning one morning. And I got a blank piece of paper. And then it literally downloaded in my brain. And I scribbled it on this paper in 5 minutes. And I went, oh my God, that's amazing. And my higher self said, that's your journal. Now go get it published. So I was like, okay, I don't know how to publish a journal, but okay. So I found someone online who did have experience getting stuff ready to put on Kindle publishing. And I did the design and everything, but she formatted it for me a little bit. And then I have an affirmation journal that I've been using for years, my own personal affirmations in different categories. And I took and put 33 pages of affirmations in the back of my journal. And so this is what I'm teaching out of this Thursday night for my free class. So make sure you register. Go to theconsciouscreatorspath.com. Register for my free class called Create a Life You Want to Live. And I'm going to be teaching out of this journal. It says, create the life you want in 15 minutes a day. And I'm not kidding you guys. Like, that's literally what my team downloaded to me, how to create a different life, a life you want in 15 minutes a day. And that's what I'm going to be teaching on in much more detail for 2 hours this Thursday, November 3rd. So definitely make sure you guys sign up for that class, or go to my website, wokelightworker.com, and then give me your information to sign up to be notified when I have classes coming up, and you'll be on my email list. And the only thing I ever email, I don't email you junk about, oh, hey, guess what I did today? No, I'm not about that. It's just about courses that I have coming up. I don't want to spam you guys at all.
She hates that more than anyone.
But anyway, so the Conscious Creators Daily Journal, you guys can find this on Amazon, and I'm telling you, I'm actually looking for volunteers. If anyone okay, guys, if you guys buy this journal and you come to my free course, Create a Life You Want to Live, I literally want people to raise their hand and tell me that they want to be part of, I'm going to call it like my secret special group. And I want to get together with you guys once a month for free. I'm going to do this for free. I want to get together for like 30 minutes once a month, like third Thursday of the month or something like that. And I want people who are actually going to work the journal and work for 15 minutes a day to create the life they want, because I want you to be the people who say, yes, I'm going to do it. And then at the very end, I want you to give me a testimonial and tell everyone what you did to create a different life in 6 months, what you've done in 6 months, and how your life has changed from the time you started until the time you worked this journal and did the steps that are in my journal and that I'm going to be teaching in my class November 3rd. I literally want, and we're going to get together once a month for like, I say 30 minutes, but it'll probably be closer to an hour. But okay, so we'll get together for an hour once a month for free for coaching with me, for sharing ideas on what we can do to support each other and keep each other accountable to totally recreate your life in 6 months. So whatever it is right now that you don't like, if you feel stuck, if you feel trapped, anything like that, we're going to get you unstuck and we're going to get you untrapped, but you got to work it. Like I said, the spiritual journey is not for the lazy. It's not going to just fall and hit you on the head. You actually have to do the work. And so anybody who wants to be part of that, it's going to be free, but because I want to see you change your life. I want, like, that's my passion and that's my purpose here, is to help everyone to raise the vibration of the planet. Are you getting tired? Is it bedtime?
No. No.
My little girl who stays up all night long. What are some of the comments that you're reading?
Well, people saying they got your journal, they love it. How much is the 4-week boot camp course?
Oh, the 4-week. Okay, so starting November 8th is the 4-week spiritual awakening boot camp that I'm going to be talking for an hour and a half, and then I'll try to fit in some Q&A. So maybe it'll go to, I'll probably make it 2 hours so we can fit in Q&A for anyone who could stay after. But that one right now, if you go to the Conscious Creator's Path, maybe Cherish can type in can you type in the website, the Conscious Creator's Path, on there? You guys can see it in the comment on YouTube. If you're watching me on YouTube, you'll be able to see it typed in there. theconsciouscreatorspath.com. That is $99 right now for the early bird session. So the Conscious Creator's Path to register for that, and to register for my free class November 3rd, which is Create a Life You Want to Live. And again, we're going to work out of this journal. You don't have to have it, honestly, guys. Like, you don't. I mean, I think I make like $8 off every journal that I sell on Amazon. So it's not something I'm promoting because I'm going to get rich off journals. It's definitely not that.
It's just to help you.
It's to help you guys, because my higher self gave it to me. Like I said, in 5 minutes, like, take out a blank piece of paper, and there it was right on the paper. And I was like, oh my God, that is amazing.
And you're going to write more, like actually like write.
Yeah, there's a page on the back that's actually just notes. I don't know if you can see it on YouTube.
Because journaling is so good.
Is a page just for notes. And then there's the page of the activity. It's the same every day. You're setting the intention for what you're going to do. And then again,
set intentions every single day and how you want your day to be, because you create your reality. So I want my day to be filled with this joy, I'm going to do this today, this, I want to attract this positive energy, this love energy, cut off any cords from you. And I learned that. I
teach all that. I teach all that in this class.
And make sure you zip up after.
Don't teach my class. Okay. She's trying to teach my whole class. Okay. Come join me November 3rd and you guys can learn all this.
Well, but that's just something that everyone should know every single day too. And something that Beth taught me. And did she teach you that too? Like whenever you are saying bye to people, just go like
cut
this,
the cord,
get the energy in your hand, and just bye, and push the energy away from you, and just set the intention that it's getting out of your energy field, and you are completely staying true to your energy.
Oh, go help the dog.
Shut up.
My dog's tripping over my ring light.
Jump over it.
What else is other people saying? I bought it and I love it.
Someone asked me a question. Is that a good time to
My only hindrance to join the super secret group with the journal is the fact that I'm still going through chemo treatment. Be there when you can. Sending you love and light. I actually do a lot of sessions with people who I keep getting more and more people attracted to doing my sessions who are going through cancer and doing chemo or doing radiation. So I find that interesting. That
because it can be healed. Your cancer can be healed.
But I find it interesting that my team is aligning me with people who are more people who are experiencing that now. So I'm just open, and I trust my team that they're bringing to me exactly who's supposed to be brought to me for my sessions and for my classes. And so it's interesting because I'm getting into more of something that I've come to call, or my team has had me come to call, psychic surgery facilitation. I'm not doing it. Your higher self is doing it in my sessions, but it's doing psychic surgery, which is more physical stuff. So it's healing on a physical level. And I will just tell you, it is phenomenal and amazing. And they keep teaching me more and more. And I keep taking more and more training on how to work with higher self to do more and more psychic surgery. So it's super exciting. Let me see any other comments. How do I get over the human fear when I see spirit or hear a voice? That's my biggest struggle. Well, okay, hold on. Let me say this first. But let me say this first, because maybe you're not hearing a positive voice, which is a possibility. I don't know what kind of voice you're hearing.
Oh yeah.
But I'm telling you, we're gonna take care of all this stuff literally in my class November 3rd. So Thursday night at 8:00 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Register, even if you can't be there. We'll send you a link. I know my operations manager doesn't want me to say that because he wants you guys there, but because I'm going to be offering you guys like a super, super special bonus if you're there, and you can only get it if you're there. So you got to be there to get the super special bonus. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. So, but you got to actually be there to get it. You can't watch a recording. So that's the incentive to be there. But, we're going to cover that. So not being afraid of voices. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to teach you how to shield your energy, how to cut cords. That's kind of a longer answer to something like that. What can you do to not be afraid? But you just need to be, the short answer is
constant reminding to yourself that I have no need to be afraid. This is
fear is an illusion.
Yeah, it's all in your head. So once again, you create your reality and you create your mind, and you taught me that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, and I learn it more every day. You just constantly remind yourself, am I creating this? Am I making this up?
Is this real, or am I creating this?
But not what you're hearing. Not the first voice you're hearing, the positive one, the one that feels right, your instinctual gut and your intuition. That's not what you should be doubting. You should be doubting the voice that comes after that is trying to doubt that voice.
Yeah.
Say that
well
is
said.
It's all about your belief. You just constantly remind yourself, no, I have no reason to doubt. I have no reason to fear.
Right. Fear is a creation, guys. I mean, it's something we create.
It's simply
so if there's anything you can create, listen to this. If there's anything you can create, you can also discreate it. Right? So that's one of my affirmations. Actually, it's in the back of my journal, guys. It's something like to the effect of everything that I have created in my life can be recreated or discreated. Right? So you can recreate and discreate anytime you want. It's just like, imagine having a blank canvas and that's your life, and you have a whole bunch of paint on there now, and that's your current life. That's what you've created. But you can literally throw that canvas away, get a whole new blank one, and recreate it any way you want. You can do that as many times as you want. Every day is a brand new day, and you can totally decide to completely change your life. And that's the whole reason I'm having this class Thursday night, November 3rd. Create a life you want to live. Again, go register at theconsciouscreatorspath.com for that class, because it's teaching you in 6 months, because this journal should take you, if I calculated the pages right in it, it should take you about 6 months. In 6 months, if you do that journal and you do it regularly, and you can be part of my private group where we're going to meet once a month to hold each other accountable. What have you done in your journal? Are you working it? And to be in the group, you have to work the journal. You have to work on consciously creating your life. You should be able to see amazing changes and differences happen in your life in 6 months. I mean, but you got to work it. Again, it's not going to just fall on your head. You got to make the changes. You got to catch yourself. You got to make the changes. You got to decide. You got to set the intention. But as far as hearing voices, you want to make sure that you're only hearing voices of love and light, right? Mm-hmm. Set the intention.
And if you're not, then simply ask Creator to remove and clear and send back to light any negative energy, entity,
wayward demon.
Yeah. Yep. That is trying to interfere with your energy.
Yeah. And do a house clearing too. Like every night, guys. Okay, so this is what I do. This is my ritual. Rituals are huge, and that's what I'm teaching on Thursday night. Okay, rituals. You got to have rituals. Okay?
But you can make them however you want to. They're customized
however you want.
to
however you want. This is my ritual at night. I'm going to tell you guys what my ritual is at night. Okay, so feel free to copy anything you want because it's just what my spirit team has led me to do. My ritual at night is I cut all the cords on me. And I'm going to explain Thursday night in my free class, Create a Life You Want to Live, exactly how to do that. And I also have a video on my YouTube channel that tells you how to do it. It's called the 4 must-dos every day. Okay, so I do these 4 must-dos every day, every morning and every night. But here's my nighttime ritual. So I cut the cords, all the cords around me. Then I ground myself. Then I shield my energetic space. And I'm going to tell you, I also shield my house at night. And I'll tell you how I do that. And then what's the other thing I do? Oh my gosh, I got to look in my journal because I taught. I shield myself. I cleanse my energetic space. I cut cords and I ground myself. But so I do those order. 4 things. Yeah, in that order.
Ground, cut cords, clear energetic space, clear your house. Yeah.
Yeah. So to clear my house, this is what I do. I put on my property line, I put a gigantic angel that I imagine in my mind on all the 4 corners, and they've got like this dome over my house.
Yeah, I imagine a dome too.
Yeah, a dome over my entire property that covers my car, my garage, everything. A dome with these angels protecting it, like gigantic swords. And I imagine like the 4 swords of these angels touching in the center. And then outside of that, not that the angels need my help protecting them, but I do this anyway. This is what I do. I imagine that there's just this big giant ball of light surrounding that entire scene. And then outside that light, I imagine like these spiky things sticking out, almost like a spiky ball. And they're like pokey and spiky, protecting that ball of light. And then outside that ball of light, because I'm extra, I put a cloaking device so that it's invisible to negative energies, negative entities, waywards, demons. And then because I'm super extra, I put a layer outside of that of the hottest fire in my mind that I imagine the hottest fire in existence, so that if anything negative, any negative entity even tried to come near my invisible shield, it would incinerate it. And it can't even touch me. So I'm basically untouchable. So that's what I do. And I have techniques that I use if someone's actually like, if you're actually being actively attacked by someone, psychically attacked by someone, being chased and harassed by a narcissist, things like that. There's other techniques you can use for that, but that's for a different time. We're going to talk about that in my gaslighting and narcissism class that I'm holding on December 6th. So watch for that. Make sure you're on my email list so I can email you guys the registration for that one, because that's going to be a 2-hour class on gaslighting and narcissism and what you can do to protect yourself from them and how to spot them. Not that most people don't know what they are by now, but a lot of people choose to ignore the red flags of narcissists. And that's where we find ourselves getting in trouble, is when we ignore the red flags and give ourselves the season pass on red flags. What were you going to say?
And like you obviously are focused. I didn't even know about that, but you focused so much about like the energetic field, like all property and up, and like I always like that's probably why I do, because I haven't focused on the outermost layer more, because they knew that you already have that covered.
Oh,
so
okay.
then I every day, like I talk to the trees nonstop, constantly, and I ask them for looking after us, and just all the life. And we have a lot of animals that come. We have deer, we have stray cats. Yeah, we have a fox. We have skunks.
Lots of stray cats.
Yeah. We have stray cats that we like made beds for. They sleep in our backyard. They eat them.
We feed the deer. We feed the cats.
Yeah,
we feed the fox. I bring them chicken.
There's so many birds. Always squirrels. The squirrels eat out of the trough. Like we have a lot of just life in our
property.
Yeah, in our property. And so I asked the trees and Creator and just any other beings willing and able but the trees as well, just to keep them protected and warm and comfortable and housed, and to make sure that all the animals, all the insects, all the just beings and lives, the plants included, the grass, know that they are safe and treated equally and fairly and with and love, and they're not harmed. Here is a safe space for all beings and all energy. While I'm talking, can I answer the thing about me? Okay.
Yeah. She wants to answer a question. This is my daughter, everyone, in case you joined late. My daughter, Cherish. She decided to jump on and be part of this.
Because, I mean, I'm going to be doing stuff like this.
Yeah, she knows
so...
she's going to be a big spiritual healer, teacher, whatever.
Well, I mean, everything you can imagine, I'm going to be pretty much. Yeah, so I know how it feels wanting BPD to be acknowledged. So you're welcome for that. I definitely know that. I know how that feels. And it makes you such an empath and so considerate about or not just so aware of your feelings. That's just such an intense aware of your feelings you can't even imagine. And if you turn that into a positive experience, it can be the most powerful, amazing thing. If you turn just there's extreme lows and extreme highs, but that's great, because then you can experience extreme love and extreme power and extreme greatness, peace. Just if you overcome that.
Somebody said, "Why are you on my lap?" Because it's my daughter, and she never sits on my lap. She used to sit on my lap all the time when she was like a little girl. That's my son. He just peeked through. If you're on YouTube, you could see it, but if you're on TikTok, you couldn't see him. So we got two screens here. There's my son. That's my son, Christian. He's got. He's 21, but he's taken.
Don't forget to
Taken for granted.
Taken for granted. Wow.
Past lives leave unhealed imprint for reincarnation. It depends on what your soul chooses. You can have healed lives and healed experiences, or completely unhealed, and life after life after life after life after life after life, learning the same lesson
Looping
over
around.
and over.
You're hurting me.
Sorry.
So one thing that I do, like
do.
especially in my higher self hypnosis sessions that I do with clients, is the first thing we do is we look at a past life, then we look at what they do in between lives. So we'll look at, do they plan their next life? Do they do a life review? Sometimes my clients get to talk to their spiritual counsel, and that's super fun.
While you're reading that, I want to say something. Someone said they're a tree hugger also.
I know, yeah.
Trees are so amazing. You have to...
Super.
They're so... Mother Nature and Mother Earth is so forsaken and taken for granted. And so treated so badly and just being destroyed. Like, that is that's the original mother for everyone. Why would you not appreciate and love it? And when you actually pay attention to the trees, like I swear they are so happy. Ever since I started talking to all the trees that I see, they are so happy. They're like, oh my gosh, finally someone is like giving appreciation and talking to me. Like, we do so much. We literally give you the air and life that you have and breathe. And you guys don't even care. You just like look right past us like we're literally invisible. Like, when you actually take the time to look at them and appreciate them, they love it. Like, you just feel the positive love energy coming off of them. They're so happy.
I'm going to tell you guys a quick story about trees. So she was really little. She was probably about 6 or 7 years old. 6 or 7 years old. And I was sitting out on my front step, and I had just come off of being a Christian, and I had a dog here.
Yeah.
Sorry. We got a husky in the house. I had just come off of being a Christian, and I'd been a Christian my whole life. And I'm glad I have that background, by the way. Yeah. I learned a lot. My team uses a lot of scripture because that's my background. to tell me things and share spiritual things with me, because there's a lot in there that is good. There really is. But anyway, so I was sitting out in the front step one night, and all of a sudden, and I like to look up and look at the stars. She gave me a crystal to hold.
If you want to fidget with something.
She fidget with this instead of my hands, right?
Yeah, because I put an intention with this crystal. I use this crystal in Beth's class.
Okay.
This crystal will help.
Okay. This crystal will help me stop fidgeting or fidget on something positive. Okay, she's awesome.
I mean, it'll help with a lot.
Okay. Well, anyway. Okay, let me finish my story about the tree.
Okay.
So I was sitting out on the front step, and I used to look up at the sky and talk to God and look at the stars and just kind of ponder things. And I was really feeling trapped in my life, and just really, really down and sad, and just feeling really trapped in where I was in life, and needing trauma healing, and not knowing that I even needed it. I mean, kind of knowing I needed it, but having no idea even how to do it. But anyway, so I was sitting out there one night, and all of a sudden the tree across the street in my neighbor's yard started talking to me. Not audibly, like out loud, of course. That's not what I mean. I mean, I'm not like ready for the loony bin or anything. But I never told anyone for years, because I thought people would think I was completely nuts. So, okay, guys, I'm telling you, because I know I'm not nuts. Like I know I'm not crazy, but I'm telling you, it was the wildest thing. This tree across the street started talking to me in my head, and I literally was like hearing it. And I looked at the tree, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, are you talking to me? And the tree was like, yeah, I'm talking to you. And I was like, what? And it just kept going on and on. And I wish that I had been into journaling and even thought to journal this, because I started going outside almost every single night after that, until we moved several months later to a different place. And I would sit out there and just wait for the tree to talk to me. And I'm not kidding you guys. Like, it would give me the most incredible wisdom, and just, I mean, because everything is of creator, right? I mean, the trees are a creator. It's creator in the form of a tree. So it's creator talking to me, right? I mean, obviously, right? But it's creator talking in the form of a tree. And I guess maybe thinking it's cute. Like, let me talk to you like I'm a tree. I don't know. But because everything's creator. But it was so incredible. And the wisdom and the insight. Sorry, husky. The wisdom and the insight was just mind-blowing. And like I said, I didn't tell anyone for years that, there is a tree talking to me, because I thought people would think I was just completely insane and losing my mind. But now I can have a conversation. And I started out by asking the tree, hey, would you like to have a conversation? Like, and the tree knows, because the tree has consciousness, and it knows if you're sincere or not. And I had the most incredible conversation a few weeks ago with a tree while I was out walking my dog at night. And I ended up in tears. Tears were flowing down my face from just this exchange of loving energy between me and the tree as I was talking and hearing this tree talk back to me in my mind. And then at the very end, I walked over to this tree and gave it a hug. And I was literally just bawling as I'm talking to this tree and hugging this tree. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely a tree hugger. Like, people use that term derogatorily, but I mean, I literally was, because I was like, and I asked the tree first, I'm like, can I give you a hug? And the tree was like, oh my gosh, yes, please come here. And it was beautiful.
One of our trees.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. So there's my tree story. My daughter gave one, I gave one.
I lived in this house for 5, and also, like, you can just a really good thing that creator said through hypnosis, right? And Shadow, our husky, gets it every day. If you just sit at the roots of a tree, just against a tree, you can get so much healing from the tree.
So much healing.
Just it's all about intention. You can get healing from anything. You can get healing from a crystal. You can get healing from a pen. Like, it's all about intention. It's all about intention. But I mean, especially like trees, because it's mother nature energy, and just they've weathered so much, seen so much, given so much life. And okay, I lived in this house for 5 years, and this year while sunbathing, I finally started to get to know my trees: Chinese elm, two-red maples, magnolia, and I sneaked tongues to a black gum.
That's nice. That's awesome. And the other day I had a session. I made a TikTok about it, that, and I had another session with another woman before who
Stay
was
focused.
experiencing a lot of grief
I'm just gonna take
and a lot of grief. And she was told to sit at the base of a tree and touch the roots of the tree, and that the roots of the tree would absorb her grief. Is it a magic pill and happen in one session? It might not. It might take you, time doing it again repeatedly. But sitting at the base of the tree and touching the roots of the tree and allowing the grief to just kind of dissipate, and then for the tree to transmute that energy into light energy. But this person's higher self the other day told her to sit barefoot and put your spine up against a tree. So I actually did it the next day too. And you get the good energy from the tree coming into your body through your spine. And then it's allowing her higher self called it muck, or the lower frequency energy, to actually leave your body through your feet. So it's just like this channel, this energy flowing. And it's about energy flowing too. What else do we got for questions? My little twin, she's so beautiful. Aww, thank you, Bright Star 38. Yeah, they do sell all these books that I'm mentioning. They sell them on Amazon. I don't know which one you were talking about, Bright Star 38. My journal, the Conscious Creator's Daily Journal, how to create a new life in 15 minutes a day. That's for sale on Amazon. The other one I mentioned, the Joshua Channelings, the book where the soul who came as Jesus. Incredible book, especially if you're coming out of Christianity. That is for sale on Amazon, I believe. And then the other one I recommended that's number one on my reading list, One Truth, One Law, I Am, I Create by Aaron Worley. That is on Amazon and on Audible. I love that one on Audible because you can just listen to it over and over and over and over again. Don't forget, how can we change the belief on negative intentions with the V word regarding your video? I think we already answered that, didn't we? Yeah. How long should we meditate per day? It's not even just meditation. Don't think of meditation like it has to be something super formal, you guys. You can do a guided meditation. Like I have some on my website. Again, my website is wokelightworker.com. There's a tab on there called meditations. I have some other people's meditations out there. There is such a good one out there called ECO meditation. It's 15 minutes. And this guy who leads it, his name is Dawson Church. I mean, he's like the kind of guy you'd want to be your dad or your grandpa. Like he's so awesome and so sweet. But his is 15 minutes and he teaches you how to completely clear your mind. If you have trouble quieting your mind, that is a really, really good one to practice with. So I would recommend either going and finding the Eco Meditation on YouTube or go to my website, wokelightworker.com, click on the meditations tab, and I have it in there, along with some other ones like meeting your higher self. But if you have trouble quieting your mind and calming the chatter, I would start with his Eco Meditation. But it's really just going to sit on a bench somewhere. And I'll ask my team sometimes, my spirit team, like, what do you want me to focus on right now? And once in a while, my team will just be like, I want you to just be quiet and listen to the birds. And they're just like, I just want you to be present. I just want you to be quiet. And a lot of times, even in my client's session that I had today, her higher self said she needs to have more quiet time. She's always got noise on. And whether it be the TV or social media or whatever it is, it's not quiet enough. And how in the world can you possibly think you're going to hear from your spirit team if you don't even have any quiet time? I mean, you have to have quiet time in order to hear from your team. I mean, even if you're just like doing mundane things around the house, like vacuuming the house or mopping the floors or something like that, you can hear from your team. Just set the intention. I do a ton. I walk my husky every day for an hour and a half a day. And when I do that, I'm either doing guided meditation. I'm doing a walking meditation where my mind is quiet and I'm just open for my team to just talk to me. And I'm not letting my mind just wander on what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day, but I'm asking my team to talk to me, or I'm listening to audiobooks or something like that. But you have to have quiet time in order to hear from your team.
Mm-hmm. And just being present is so important, because like
being in the now. Right?
Because when you
no, don't worry about that one.
What?
That text. Don't worry about the text.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When you Sorry.
Quieting your mind and being in the now, you said.
Yeah, because when you really think about it, like, remember, you were a soul coming down here. You know, you planned all of this, and you're choosing to experience this, but at your core, you are just a soul from creator that creator made to experience. And so just forget about the reality you're in, all, like, whenever you need it, and just remember, oh, I'm just a soul. I need a minute, and I have no reason to think about any of this. This is, I can get back to that. That's stupid. I have it all handled. Everything will work out in the end because I know what's meant to happen, and I trust, you know. And so when you meditate, it's simply just connecting back to who you know you truly are, not
That we forgot.
Yes, that you forgot.
I love it. At the bottom of this book, it says, "We are all God. We have just forgotten."
Are you taking clients for higher self healing?
Yeah. So, okay, guys, for Higher Self Hypnosis, you can go to my website, wokelightworker.com, if you're interested in scheduling a session. And it says book a session, but there's a tab called hypnosis that will tell you more about it. It gives you my pricing, all of that kind of stuff. And then if you want to book a session, I talk to everyone for 15 minutes first because I want to make sure that it's going to be a good fit. And I'm going to tell anybody who jumped on late, like, really exciting. I have a lot of training I do a year. Guys, I'm telling you, I spend in the tens of thousands of dollars every year on my training. So what I do, I put a lot of time and a lot of training, and I have more certifications than I can even remember a name. And that's totally irrelevant. I'm doing my purpose, and my team is my main teacher, and that's my guide. And they lead me to the training that they want me to do. But I have this training that I start tomorrow, and I'm super excited about it. It's an intensive one-on-one training I'm going to be doing for 4 months. In addition to the sessions that I do every day, in addition to the courses I'm teaching, in addition to running the business side of things. So yay, I'm adding more to my plate. But this is going to benefit my clients because this is a training so that I can bring it to my clients to incorporate into my higher self hypnosis sessions. Super intense, focused, laser focused inner child healing in a completely different way than anything I've ever done before. So, and that's why it's really intense for 4 months. So 2 sessions a week, one-on-one training with this master who teaches this. And so I'm super excited about that. So I'm already booking my sessions 4 and 5 months out. So if you do want a higher self-hypnosis session, you're going to get the benefit of me being done with that training. So that'll be super exciting. So I'm going to be bringing that to all of my sessions. But what was the original question about higher self? Oh, and then I have a class. And then in January, you guys, I have a course coming up. So make sure that you get on my email list. So if you go to wokelightworker.com, there's a space that you can leave your contact information for me. Make sure you leave me your contact information because I'll add you to my email list and let you know when my course's registration is open. Because I have a course coming up in January for 4 weeks on teaching you how to be connected and live as your higher self. So, and a lot of the ideas are, again, from all of my courses are from higher self hypnosis sessions, along with some of the stuff that I've learned in my trainings and through reading and stuff like that. But that one's coming up in January. So again, I'm going to list my courses again. This Thursday, November 3rd, Create a Life You Want to Live. That course is free, you guys. That one is free. And again, if you came on late, this is my daughter, Cherish. Stop.
Well, there's Husky here on my hands.
I know. She's grabbing Halloween candy. Seriously? Don't eat that now.
It's Reese's. I have to.
Reese's is her favorite.
That's an understatement.
Then starting November 8th is my 4-week spiritual awakening boot camp. That's all things spiritual. I'm covering so much stuff. Like I can't even begin to tell you guys everything that's going to be covered, but you're going to walk away having brain overload. You're going to get so much information. I'm just going to do a big brain dump on you. 4-week spiritual awakening boot camp. That's all the Tuesdays, the 4 Tuesdays in November. I think it's either 8 or 8:30 p.m. Eastern time for 4 weeks. Then December 6th, I have a really inexpensive class. I think it's like $19 for 2 hours I'm going to be teaching on gaslighting and narcissists. And then in January is my 4-week class, and that's going to be on Tuesday nights. That's going to be on how to live and be your higher self. And then February, the month of love, because it's Valentine's Day in the US in February, is going to be radical self-love. And I'm telling you guys, like, the super exciting thing I'm really excited to give you guys in that class is I have a list so far of 175 things. I'm trying to get it up to 200 of things you can do to increase your self-love. So, I mean, that's going to be one of the takeaways from that. And then in March, I believe the course I'm going to be teaching is on self-healing. If I can heal myself from 3 incurable, quote unquote, diseases, I'm telling you, you guys can do it too. Not just saying that. I will tell you what I did.
Mental, physical, you can heal yourself of anything, because
unless it's part of the contract for you to carry in this lifetime.
Well, but you
that's
can
different.
You can change,
but you can go. You can renegotiate contracts, but
I mean,
not every single time your soul wants you to. But you can.
Well, that's the thing. Yes. You communicate with
your team.
Yeah, your team,
your
and check. And check with Creator that it is in your highest and best alignment what your team and your council is telling you, and you can change
your contracts.
You can change, and you can change your death doors. You have hundreds of death doors throughout your life. Like you can decide any as you go. You can change anything about your contracts.
Can I just tell you guys, like, the biggest thing that life is supposed to be about, and my client was told this today in her session too, it's literally about having fun. We're supposed to have fun, and almost all of us take this journey too seriously, and we don't think about the fact that this is literally an illusion that we're living.
You take it too seriously sometimes?
That's coming from my daughter. That's the daughter side. She thinks I shouldn't have rules, but we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there.
Rules, but remember that we're simply humans playing out a role.
Okay, so we're humans playing out a role, going through lessons, having experiences. It's Creator expanding itself. That's who we are. We're Creator expanding itself. And my daughter's trying to read your comments, guys.
I can't read them. There's so many. I don't even know where to start. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Go to the later ones, because some people might have jumped off already.
She's a Capricorn too. Exactly. That's you get it then. I'm a Pisces.
Yeah,
I can't deal with Capricorns. I'm a Pisces. That's why.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys, I just had, I don't know, there's probably some of you on here who do birth chart readings. I just had the most incredible birth chart reading. If you guys want, I don't know I don't have his contact information with me here. Shoot. His name is Sammy, and I got his name and email address from a client, and it was an incredible birth chart reading, and I'm totally doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, this is my purpose. He didn't know what I did, what I do. He totally described what I'm doing right now, doing this higher self hypnosis work and working with clients. He described it without even knowing what I do and said, yeah, this is what you're going to be doing for the next 30 years. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. So that was really fun. That was really, really fun.
Someone said, should I use a spirit board?
Oh,
do you know what they mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Do you know that thing? So there's a woman named Linda Deer. I think it's Dier. Oh gosh, you guys, you got to check out her books. I forget what her name of her books are, but you can check her out on Amazon. I think it's Dier, Linda Deer. She was super abused when she was growing up, like as a baby. Oh my God, like her story is heart-wrenching. And she could literally see and feel her spirit guides as a baby and how they protected her, literally protected her, saved her life. And she developed a spirit board. Remember that? We bought it. I have it in my room somewhere, but it's a spirit board with different letters, and it's kind of sort of like a Ouija board, but it's not a Ouija board. It's all about the intention behind it. Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't use it. I just still found it when we moved into this house a couple of years ago, but I did
so
buy
it's like it. like Creator and any source,
yeah, you're calling in love and light and all of that.
Any being,
but you guys, I prefer to use either body testing, meaning muscle testing yourself, and I have a TikTok out there. If you guys go to my TikTok, Woke Lightworker, you can see my video on that. But I prefer muscle testing over something like a spirit board. Or I prefer using you call that? What's the name? The thing?
Oh, pendulum?
A pendulum. Yeah, I prefer using a pendulum, clearing your space. That's a totally different topic for a different time. But clearing your energetic space, only letting the beings of the highest love and light, your team, shielding you, protecting you, and then using a pendulum to ask yes and no questions. Just like you can ask with your body, you can muscle test with your body.
So someone said, what kind of stuff did the tree say? Well, ask a tree yourself and see what they're gonna say. My friends think I'm crazy for hugging or talking to my tree. They just don't get it. It's fine. Like you don't need anyone else to get it. So,
guys, people pleasing and worrying about what other people think is like the last thing you should be worried about, especially if you're on a spiritual journey. Like that's the last thing you got to be thinking about, what people think about you, because everyone's going to say and think that you're crazy. And just go with your intuition and what feels good to you, and follow your highest joy all the time. Whatever sparks joy with you, whatever, follow the breadcrumb trail of excitement. That's one of the spiritual teachers I've followed for years, has what he said. His name is Bentinho Massaro. He says, follow the breadcrumb trail of excitement and you'll never go wrong. You like literally won't go wrong following the breadcrumb trail of excitement. And sorry, Cherish is leaning over here on the screen because she's trying to read comments.
Yes, good. Talk to your trees and love them every morning. I do the same thing. I exchange energy. Yes, that's great. Okay, wait. How do I get a one-on-one with you?
I'm gonna start. Okay, hold on. Let me answer that really quickly. So starting with my December 6th class, and my operations manager Chris is on here listening. So he knows that I want to work on making a little package. So the class is going to be really inexpensive, like $19 for a 2-hour class on gaslighting and narcissism, and then we'll add a package onto that. I don't know what the price will be. If you want to have like a 30-minute one-on-one session with me, that would be like an intuitive coaching session. Yeah, he's telling me messages right now. So that would be an intuitive coaching session. We can add on a 30-minute intuitive coaching session. But if you want to do a higher self hypnosis session with me, you can go to my website. Again, everything on all my social media is Woke Lightworker, all one word. So Instagram is Woke Lightworker. TikTok is Woke Lightworker. Patreon is patreon.com/Woke Lightworker. That's where you can watch a ton of my higher self hypnosis sessions and past life sessions. My Pinterest is Woke Lightworker. All of my stuff is Woke Lightworker. So just, you can find me on all my social media on Woke Lightworker, my website. So that's how you can get a session with me, a higher self hypnosis session. Just go to my website, Woke Lightworker. There's a hypnosis tab and then a book a session tab you can go to.
And yes, her sessions can eliminate physical pain that is manifested in the body.
Yeah, that would be, if you want to eliminate physical pain in the body, that's what my spirit team has me doing more and more lately. And they've told me to call it psychic surgery facilitation, because I'm not doing the healing. I'm not the healer. You guys are your own healer. Your higher self is you. It's your higher self doing the healing through you. And if your higher self says something like, well, I want a healer of, whatever it is, diabetes or whatever, but she has to do A, B, and C in order to get full healing. Like maybe she needs to, cut out carbs or, whatever it is, they'll give you a whole plan. Your higher self will lay out the whole plan for you. If you can't get instantaneous healing for even an emotional or a physical thing in your higher self hypnosis session, I won't let you walk out without having a plan, right? So like today, my client has a lot of inner child healing work she needs to do. And I said, what does it look like for her to begin doing that? Like, what are the steps she takes? What does it look like? And I'll tell you what her higher self said, which is the exact same thing my client last week, her higher self said. And these are two different people that live on opposite sides of the country. Both of their higher selves said the exact same thing. For inner child healing, their higher self said, as memories come up in your mind of incidences that happened when you were a child that were traumatizing for you, then you want to feel the feelings, and then you want to go into that image that came up in your mind, and you want to feel the feelings, and you want to talk to that child. You want to go into that space. You close your eyes, whatever it is, go into that space, see that child. Be the parent that you wish you would have had at that moment. And so I said to her higher self, I said, so basically we're going back and parenting ourselves. Is that right? And both of their higher selves said that's 100% correct. So we're going back because there is no such thing as time. Guys, this whole thing is an illusion, right? We're living in a matrix. This whole thing is an illusion, right? We can slide up and down that timeline and go anywhere we want at any time we want. So you go back, you are the future self of that little girl. You are the future self, right? You go back to that little girl as the future self, the grown up little girl, and you hug that girl and you love that girl and you cuddle her and you snuggle her. When I first discovered my inner child, I went hiking afterwards and I was like, hey, let's go hiking. And she was so excited that I let her out of this box that I'd been hiding her in and kept the lid on for years in the darkness. And she was so excited to get out and go hiking with me. And I literally spent the weekend with her and she was my invisible friend. I don't really care what anyone thinks about that if they think that's crazy, but it worked for me. And I'm telling you, the healing I got from that, let's just say I was in a pretty low spot in my life. And I mean a really low spot in my life. And it makes me emotional thinking about it. I was in a really low spot in my life. And when I did that inner child healing, my life totally changed. Ooh, I didn't know I was going to get emotional,
but it's fine because crying is such an amazing thing because it lets out whatever is trapped in you. You always need to let it out, release it. You don't want it trapped in you. Yeah. So crying is an amazing way to let it out.
But it was the most incredible healing I got. And guys, she was my invisible friend for the rest of that weekend. I was at a spiritual retreat and I told my spirit team, this is the last chance you have to help me because I don't think I'm going to be able to stay around on this planet much longer if you don't help me, because I literally felt that low. And they introduced me to my inner child and showed me that I had been keeping her in a box and I had just been piling darkness and feelings and shutting the box and keeping so busy in my life that I didn't do any healing with her. And so when I let her out, she was so excited and she went hiking with me and we talked and chatted the whole weekend. And I gave her hugs and I snuggled her and, in my imagination, in my mind. And it was the most incredible thing. And my life changed from that point on. That is how powerful inner child healing work is. And that's why I said to you guys, I'm so excited that I'm learning this new method of doing really profound, deep inner child healing work with this teacher that I'm going to be working one-on-one with. So everyone doing higher self hypnosis sessions with me 4 months out and into the future is going to get the benefit of me having gone through that training.
What's his name?
And his name is Sammy, and I can't remember his website. I should find the guy who does the birth charts. If anyone else does birth chart readings, how about if you guys put it in the comments on YouTube, because there's somebody on YouTube asking who does birth chart readings. Go to my YouTube. It's Woke Lightworker on YouTube. Run there now. If you're watching me on TikTok, go to the YouTube. And
but then they're gonna miss.
No. Go to my live. Go to my live on YouTube. Click from TikTok and go to my YouTube or be on both. But go over there because somebody on YouTube is looking for who does birth chart readings. But this guy's name is Sammy. And if you email me at tracy@wokelightworker.com, I will get you his contact information. But if anyone else does birth chart readings, because I know there's a lot of you out here that do that kind of stuff, go on YouTube, go on my YouTube live channel right now and put your information in for the person who's asking about it.
Is his name Sam Moog?
Yes, I think it's Sammy Moog. I think that's who it is. Somebody just put his name out there. I think that's who it is. I think that's his name.
Boy.
Yeah, I think it is. So he's like famous, I guess. But yeah, it was amazing. That was an amazing birth chart reading.
I think I want to do that. I think I want to.
Okay, somebody asked on TikTok, can you do a class on how to empower young kids with spirituality?
Could I have a class and teach that? And like because they would listen to someone more their age, and I know that because I would listen to people more my age.
If you guys think Cherish should teach a class to your teens on spirituality, let me know. Like, put it in the comments and let me know if you
or
think.
like even young kids too,
or even younger kids.
Because
who want to know about spirituality.
When did you start teaching me spirituality?
I started teaching her when she was 10, and by the time she was 11, I was dragging her out to LA with me.
And I wanted to, like literally at 10 and 11, I was already like I knew it was right. It just felt so right, and I loved going to the classes. I loved going to the meetings. I loved listening to all the like.
No, you were probably, she was probably 9. I think she was about 9 when I started dragging her around to meetup groups, different spiritual meetup groups. And the first thing I had her do was a past life reading with a woman who read some past lives of her. Remember? Don't say her name. Don't say her name. Okay. Did a past life reading of her, and wow, it was really crazy and really wild. And then talked about her future and how she's going to be such an amazing teacher and healer.
Yeah, and I like then I was like something in me was like, okay, yeah, but like mostly I was so unaware of it. Now I know exactly that like I'm literally here. I literally am here to be a modern Jesus. I'm literally here to be a modern Jesus. I want to raise the vibration.
She wants to raise the vibration of the planet and spread the message of oneness and love.
Oneness and love, as like. But the thing is like I don't want any hate, any destruction, any low energy. Like literally, I'm gonna do, and my kids are gonna carry it on so that it just like there's gonna be almost no negativity and no hate in the world by the time I'm dead. And I promise that. Like I'm being so serious. Anyway,
do it, Cherish. You got this. They said wild and tears. Yeah, like
do it, Cherish. You got this. And anyone can achieve any goal. If you want to be an engineer, it doesn't even have to be spiritual. Anything you want to do, anything you want to be, it's all up to you. And so I have the highest goal that I could possibly ever set, but I know that I'm going to do it. I don't know how exactly all the works, but I'm going to do it because I'm going to make it happen.
Hold on. I want to answer another question. Someone said, eclectic narcoleptic. I think that's what
narcoleptic. That means you fall asleep.
What happens when you're tired from living such a life because everything is so deep, interactions and everything? I'm going to answer that one. What you do? You stop taking life so seriously. Literally, that's what higher selves keep saying in all my sessions. You have to do 2 things. You stop taking life so seriously because it's not serious. Get out of your head. It's not that serious. Stop taking it so seriously. Really, it's just a choice. It's a decision that you make. I'm not going to take life so seriously.
After choice
Let the
after
dog
choice.
out. I'm not going to take life so seriously. And the second thing you want to do is do whatever brings you joy. I mean, obviously there's balance to that. I mean, do things that are moral and of high frequency, but do what brings you joy. If you ever have a choice between doing 2 things, you want to do whichever one gives you the thought that it'll bring you more joy. And just a super silly example, like I was at the gym one day and I looked at the treadmill and I looked at the stair climber and I said, which one's going to bring me more joy right now? Like having to be at the gym, right? And it was like, oh, the treadmill would bring me more joy. So I went and did the treadmill. It wasn't like, oh, I should do the Stairmaster because I can really feel my legs working a lot harder that way. No, I wanted to do what brought me more joy. So I did the treadmill that day. So do what brings you more joy and just follow that. Follow your joy. Follow the breadcrumb trail of excitement to have a better life and not be so worn down by life. And like I said, stop taking life so seriously. Get out of your head. Don't take it so seriously. Just try to be light.
Make it how you want to make it. You create your reality. If you're tired of living, change how you're living. Change your environment. Change the people.
Be at my class Thursday night. Be at my class Thursday night. My class is called Create a Life You Want to Live in 15 Minutes a Day. And that's Thursday night, November 3rd, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time in the U.S. You can be anywhere. But be in that class. I'm going to tell you guys, like, my higher self channeled that journal to me that I'm teaching out of on how to create your life new in 15 minutes a day. And 6 months to a year, it's going to go by anyway. 6 months is going to come, it's going to go. A year is going to come, a year is going to go. If you keep doing the same thing you're doing now, your life is going to look the same. You have to change what you're doing, and you can do that in little steps. And I'm going to have question and answer after the class too. So based on anything that I'm teaching in that class, I'm going to have question and answer. So you guys can ask me your questions. But in 1 year or 6 months from now, you guys should be able to create a completely different life. I'm telling you from experience. Okay. My life now is nothing. not even remotely what it was a year ago. It's not even remotely what it was 2 years ago. And 5 years ago, forget about it. It's completely different. But I didn't keep making the same decisions. I had to do different things every single day. Changing mindset. Guys, I had an affirmation journal with me that I carried everywhere with me for 2 years straight. I would make my own affirmations and I put them in this journal. And I literally would brainwash myself with spiritual books, spiritual teaching, with affirmations. And those affirmations, like I told you earlier, this journal that I made, it's for sale on Amazon, the Conscious Creators Daily Journal, that I have 33 pages of affirmations, my affirmations that I put in the back, and I categorized them in different categories. You guys, you have to reprogram yourself.
Yes,
it doesn't just happen.
affirmations are so good for you.
It doesn't, and positive self-talk. Yes. Positive self-talk and affirmations are the things that will help you change your life more than anything in the world. Is positive self-talk.
Someone said in the comments, I just heard in mind, we are light beings, so we must carry a light load. Exactly.
I like that. Yeah. We're light beings, so we carry a light load.
Yeah.
And this is another instance where I told you guys I came from a Christian background. And one of the scriptures that my spirit team reminds me of is, cast your cares on him, for he cares for you. My yoke is easy and my burden is light, right? We're not meant to carry all of this. You got to let it go. You got to give it up. I heard a term a few months ago, and it was somebody saying that they asked for a universal manager. I was like, oh my God, that's genius, right? You can ask for a universal manager, a guide to be your universal manager. Give the heavy load, the heavy stuff. Why do you need to carry that? Give it up to either creator, or if you want to ask for a guide, you can call in a special guide for any situation. You can call in joy guides to bring more joy into your life. You can call in a universal manager guide and have the universal manager delegate to him or her, that universal manager, the heavy stuff. I called in a universal manager guide, and I have a list of 4 or 5 things that I put on that list that to me seem like really big things. And I gave them to my universal manager. I wrote them down and I said, here, I'm giving this to you. And I basically shut the lid on it and said, I don't need to worry about it anymore. It's like my amazing operations manager that's sitting on this TikTok and this YouTube that's going way too long now. So I'm going to have to end it pretty soon, guys.
It's fine.
But
why
I have a session early in the morning. But
we'll ask creator.
And you have school.
Well, we can ask creator.
She wants to keep going all night.
We can ask creator to help us get the necessary rest and sleep that we need in the matter of however many hours, and make it feel like 10 hours. But I can give stuff. Hold on. I was talking about universal managers. I give stuff to Chris, my operations manager. And I know it's getting done. And I don't have to sit there and constantly follow up with him. I do sometimes just because, like, it's my business and I kind of, like, I'm a little bit of a control freak sometimes. But so it's handing it over and knowing it's going to get done and just trusting that it's going to get done. What was the question you wanted to look at? Just that goes into what you were saying. If this person commented, if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always gotten.
Yeah, keep your hand away.
Yeah, okay.
Because YouTube's watching too.
Someone said, how do you deal with negative family? You have to look at it as, think about each individual person who is bringing negativity and how they are bringing it in their specific way. And think about what lessons are they teaching me, or what lessons can they teach me? Like, if someone you have no patience for them, they are there to teach you patience. And if you don't learn that, if you don't accept it and love it for what it is, a lesson, making you stronger and more aware, more ascended, anything, however you want to label it, then they distracted me. They stopped talking.
No, but the other thing is too, when you're dealing with family, it's there's a lot of different ways you can handle family.
Draw healthy boundaries as much as you can.
Healthy boundaries for sure, and don't worry about it's not our responsibility how other people react to our boundaries. Okay. How people react to anything you do or you say is not your responsibility, and it's not anything you have to even be concerned with. Okay. I mean, unless you're infringing on their sovereignty. Okay. That's a completely different situation. I'm talking when you're doing what's best for you and you are having healthy boundaries for yourself because someone is overstepping their bounds. Okay. It's okay for you to have healthy boundaries. And when you first learn to have healthy boundaries, people are not going to like it because they're not used to you having healthy boundaries.
And if they keep at it and keep at it, and you know it's not you, then
limit your
you have
time
to
with
think,
them.
yeah, and the time that you do have with them, the experiences that you do have with them, if they really just keep making you feel just heavy, stressed, negative, you have to think, okay, why? What specifically are they doing? How are they making me feel? What can I change in me? What is it in me that
What is it in me that I can heal? Or you distance yourself. So like the class, I told you guys I have a class coming up December 6th. Mark your calendar, get on my email list so I can email you when registration is open because it's not open yet. Go to my website, wokelightworker.com, get on my email list because I'll let you know when that class is open, when my Being Your Higher Self class is open in January, when my Radical Self-Love class is open in February. I'll notify you guys. But like I'm going to talk about in there, my dog is in and out. Sorry, guys. But that is going to, we're going to talk about, there's just instances, if they're gaslighters, manipulators, narcissists, psychotics. I mean, there are psychotics people out there too. Those type of people, really the only thing you can do.
Without a soul.
Yeah, and people without souls.
I think Maggie doesn't have a soul.
Stop it. Okay. You can the best thing you can do in those instances is just cut off communication or distance yourself. And I'll talk about more things like that in my class, gaslighters and manipulators, on December 6th. But it depends on how extreme it is and if you really still want them in your life or not. Learn the lessons you need to learn from them. Be love and light, be an example to them. Don't preach at people. That's like the worst thing you can do, especially if they're not interested in changing and they just want to be how they are. And just understand that they're at where they're at in their journey. Guys, everyone is on a different path, on a different level, on a different timeline. Not everyone's trying to move fast. Not everyone wants to move slow. We're all on a different timeline, and we've all got other lives that we've experienced that impact how we are in this life. We're carrying lessons and experiences and traumas generationally. We're carrying things from past lives. We're carrying so many things in us that make up who we are. And so just understand and have patience and grace for other people. And if they are not for your best and highest good, family or no family, I will be the first one to say cut them out, because I've done that with many of my family. But I follow a different path than a lot of people with cutting out toxic people in my life. I think I told you guys, I probably, between doing higher self hypnosis sessions and working my business, I've been working this way, like 60, 70 hours a week for a number of years, building this business and building the last business that I had. I was self-employed for 14 years doing what I used to do. And so I have too much energy that I dedicate to what I do. I can't waste it on other people, because your time and your energy are the most important and valuable things that you have. Be careful who you give your time and energy to. Your best time and your best energy should go to you. Mm-hmm. You first. That's who your time and energy should go to.
And then your pets.
And then my daughter said, and then your pets. So your two most valuable things should be spent on yourself. And if someone is draining your time and your energy and you're not getting any love or light from it, and it's not benefiting you, and you're done with the lessons you feel that you were here to learn from them, then that's when the relationship can end. And that's family or non-family. There's not a lot of family that I talk to anymore and that I have in my life. And that's because I can't be distracted, because they're only my family in this life. They're not, you know what I mean? We're all one. They're just acting as my family in this life. It's really just a role. And I understand that. And I'm totally okay with that. And so it's just whatever kind of works best for you. And I probably carried that on way longer than I needed to. So let's see what another question is.
How did you start doing all this, like hypnosis?
How did I start doing it?
How did you come across it? Did it just come to you?
No. Well, it's my purpose, and that was verified when I did from Sammy Moog, the guy who did my birth chart reading. When I got out of Christianity, I was working in an office with this woman named Victoria, and who is an incredible spiritual healer and teacher. And I was working in a real estate office, and she walked by my desk one day, and I had seen her giving lunch and learns and things on meditation and peace and having love in your life. And every time she talked in the office meetings, Alexander, thank you so much for sending stars on my TikTok. That's so amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. One day, Victoria walked in front of my desk, and I looked at her, and just spontaneously I said, "What can I read to learn more of what you know?" Because she was just a living example of light. And that's how we reach the most people, guys. It's not by preaching at anyone. It's not by, in any religion, walking up and down the street, marching signs and parading signs all over the place. You're not going to convert people that way. It's by living your life, and people are like, "What can I do to be like you? Like, you have so much peace and light." So she walked by, and I said, "What can I read to learn more of what you know?" Thank you guys so much for the hearts and the roses on TikTok. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. And she said it's a book called
Kimberly too.
Yeah, Kimberly. Thank you, Kimberly. And she said it's a book by Mary Ann Williamson called A Return to Love. So I'll say that name one more time in case you want to write it down. It's by Mary Ann Williamson, and it's called A Return to Love. And that book, I devoured it. I got it on Amazon the next day, and I devoured it. And then I read everything by Mary Ann Williamson. And then she mentioned several authors, and I read everything they have. And then they would mention authors, and I read everything they have. And that is what started my spiritual journey. And then I started going to meetup.com meetings, spiritual meetings in the Washington, D.C. area where I live. And I started running into a lot of the same people. And one of the people was this really gifted and talented past life reader, and she taught all kinds of things, and she was very, very in tune with her spirit team. And she said, "I feel like you need to meet this woman named Allison. I don't know why. I just feel like the two of you need to meet. So next time you guys are in a class with her and I'm there, a meetup group, I'll introduce you." So number of months later, I ended up being in the same place with both of them, and she introduced us. And I asked Allison, "Oh, what do you do?" And I was still in a Matrix 3D job at the time, but I was very much into spirituality now, living, eating, and breathing it when I wasn't working. And she said, "Oh, I do something called QHHT." And I'm like, "What is that?" And she said, "It's Dolores Cannon's method." And I had never heard of Dolores Cannon at that time. And so then I started devouring, reading everything by Dolores Cannon. And I was fascinated by her hypnosis sessions. And so I started out at getting tons of certifications and all kinds of things, Reiki, became a Reiki master, like different angel healings and angel Reiki. And I don't know, I can't even remember everything. And I learned QHHT. And then from there, I just kept getting more and more and more training, including, I told you, Vienna Stibel's healing method called Theta healing. And my spirit team just started talking to me and having me incorporate all of that learning and training that I got, along with the teaching my spirit team was giving me. And I incorporate that into all of my higher self hypnosis sessions. And so that's how I came to do what I do. And like my daughter said earlier, who was sitting here, all I ever do is spiritual stuff. Like I'm so in love with this, and I'm passionate about it, and it's my purpose. And I'm always doing reading and listening to audiobooks and trainings and teachings and stuff like that. So,
and now it's going to be me too.
And now she's going to be getting into it. Let me see.
You guys better be on my lives when I have them in the future.
Is it true Reiki has a negative history? I don't know. I didn't study Reiki history, so I don't know if Reiki has a negative history.
It just depends on the healer. I mean, any healer can make any practice negative or positive. but I mean,
I
it's
think
not supposed to be.
Reiki energy is amazing. I mean, I used to do Reiki sessions and do Reiki shares with some people, and it was always a very, very positive experience for me and people I've done Reiki on. I don't have time to do Reiki anymore because I'm so busy doing what I am doing. But
I can teach your kids
positive.
Reiki.
Yeah, very positive. So for anybody who joined me just recently, I'm going to go over one more time the different courses that I have coming up, because even if you can't, just right now, really quickly, because even if you can't do a session with me, and just so you know, I'm booking out months in advance. But if you can't do a session with me, I teach almost everything I teach in my courses that I'm just starting teaching is almost all from higher selves, people, what I've learned from hundreds and hundreds of higher self hypnosis sessions. So this Thursday, November 3rd, everybody go to my website, theconsciouscreatorspath.com, theconsciouscreatorspath.com, and sign up, or go to my website, wokelightworker.com, and give me your email address or shoot me an email on there and tell me you want to register for my free class at 8 p.m. Eastern time this Thursday, November 3rd, and register for Create a Life You Want to Live. It's a free class for 2 hours, and I'll be doing Q&A at the end. Hopefully we can fit in a few Q&A. Then starting on November 8th, for 4 Tuesdays in November, it's going to be an 1.5 to 2 hour class on Tuesdays. And that class is called Spiritual Awakening Boot Camp. I'm going to give you guys like so much information on the spiritual journey. Like, it's going to blow your mind. You're going to have like brain overload. So good thing you're going to get a recording of it afterwards so you can rewatch it. But that is Spiritual Awakening Boot Camp for 4 weeks starting November 8th. You can register for that on theconsciouscreatorspath.com. Then December 6th, I'm going to have a 2 hour class on gaslighting and manipulation, which is a typical narcissist, right? But you don't have to be a narcissist just to gaslight. But that's going to be December 6th. Registration is not yet open, so make sure I have your email so I can email you guys, or join my Facebook. My Facebook page, which is Woke Light Worker on Facebook. Like my page, and I'll be announcing when that registration is open too. And then in January, I have a 4-week class coming up on how to live and be your higher self. Registration's not yet open. Make sure I have your email address so I can email you guys when registration is open for that. And then in February, Radical Self-Love. And I'm going to give you guys a list of 175 to 200 things you can do to increase your self-love. Because of the 2 top things that everyone's higher self says they need to work on that will change their life more than anything, is if they master 2 things, and it will change your life more than anything. It will bring you healing emotionally, physically, and mentally, is self-worth and self-love. And I have had more than one person's higher self say almost these exact words, have said, if you could learn how to truly love yourself, you could heal every single thing that's wrong with your body. Every single thing. If you could learn how to truly love yourself. And that is super powerful. So Radical Self-Love in February, make sure you're on my email list. You can go to my website, wokelightworker.com, and there's a space you can have me add you to my email list. Or if you're on TikTok, you can click on my bio, my picture. You can go to my bio, and there's a space in there you can be added to my email list for upcoming classes. So make sure you guys do
entrepreneur?
that. Spell it out the way you want, girlfriend.
Well,
this is the girl who kept winning spelling contests all the time.
I spelled it, but it says it's wrong. Whatever.
Yeah. Let me see. This said something here. What did he say? This is my operations manager.
I spelled it like
he said,
that.
Cherish, can you please type in www.theconsciouscreatorspath.com in both TikTok and YouTube. So how do we type it in on TikTok? How do we type it in? How do we type it in?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's in a wrap.
Thank you, Husky Kimberly, for the rose. Thank you so much. Husky Kimberly. I have a husky. I see you sent another rose, it looks like. And then I have got Hareksh. I can't read the name. It's such light print on here. 1008. Sent me some nice emojis. And then I got a
Does that
rose
help?
again from Husky Kimberly. Do I believe in Christianity? I came from a Christian background, guys. That was my background for years. I was healed of an incurable endometriosis. I was healed of endometriosis while I was a Christian. God is God, right? We are God. They teach that there's a God outside of us, and it never felt completely right to me. But I absolutely loved praise and worship because I started going to charismatic Christian churches, and I absolutely loved it because I felt like when you walked in the church, you could just feel the power of God in there. But the God was in me, and the God is in you, and we are God. We've just forgotten. And so, yeah, do I believe in Christianity? Yeah. Do I think? And this book, if you're, excuse me, sorry, coming from, this is the book I recommended again. It's The Jeshua Channelings by Pamela Kribbe, Kribbe. It's on Amazon. If you want to know how Christianity and Jesus fits into all of this and spirituality, guys, I can't even recommend that book enough. Like, it will give you so much insight. Like, you will just be blown away. And it was a book channeled by the soul who was Jesus, Jeshua. Gives so much guidance in that book on how you can heal yourself from trauma, inner child healing work, stuff like that. It's an incredible book. It helped me so much in my journey. Like, I can't even tell you. I was reading it at the same time as a really good friend of mine. She's from India. She did not grow up Christian, but she read the book because Jesus actually
That book gave me
came.
on Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. That book. I mean, yeah, Jesus is amazing, of course, right? To say the least. But Jesus came to her months prior to that and introduced himself to her in a vision. And she had grown up, I think Hindu is the religion that they have over in India that she grew up as. And Jesus actually came to her. And she said it was like he was literally standing right in front of her. And he had a conversation with her. She knew right then and there that Jesus was real. And it blew her mind. And so her and I were reading that book together, The Jeshua Channelings. And we were like beyond excited reading it. We would be texting each other back and forth. Oh my gosh, did you see what was on page 39? You're never going to believe what's on page 65. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's incredible. You got to see this. Like, it was like we were watching like the best movie in the world. All the information in that book, The Joshua Channeling, it was crazy amazing. But if you are coming from a background of Christianity or any other religious background, that book is channeled of Jesus by Pamela. It will give you so much insight and history, religion, that it will blow your mind. So
remember, be so grateful of anyone in your life bringing you any negativity, because they're simply there to teach you lessons. Be grateful that they are there to help you become stronger.
Yeah. Somebody said that?
Like, they were like, oh, my brother-in-law triggers me every time I see and hear him.
Oh, okay. So that's the question again. I don't know if you were here when I said the question earlier. The best question you can ever ask yourself to help yourself grow and learn. And a lot of people are like, how do I get off this planet? You learn your lessons and you keep learning your lessons and you don't keep repeating them, because then you don't get off. Ask yourself this question. This will help you grow more than anything in the world, guys. Promise. What is it in me that needs to be healed in order for me to blank? In order for me to not be triggered by my brother or by my brother-in-law? What is it in me that needs to be healed so that I don't get triggered anymore by my brother? That's the question that will bring you more healing than anything else in your life. Because you guys, we're going to keep looping around and looping around and looping around in this planet and in this life until we pass 12th grade. So this is a school. So many people higher selves have told me that. This is literally a school. And believe it or not, your souls love coming to planet Earth because the lessons come fast and they come hard and they're short lives. And that's why we love coming here. Our souls love coming here. Your conscious mind, your ego may very much not like coming here, but your soul loves coming here. Again, because the lessons are fast, hard, and quick. And it's like taking a summer course. It's like you fit 6 months worth of classes into 2.5 months in the summer. And that's why we love planet Earth, because a lot of planets that you go to, the lives are hundreds. If you were to give them a time, they'd be hundreds of years, hundreds and hundreds of years. And the lessons are very slow because you don't have emotions on a lot of those planets. And the emotions, you managing your emotions and learning how to not react emotionally, how to not care about other people's emotions and pleasing other people so their emotions stay level, and all those other things involved with it. That's why you learn. You get to learn boundaries here. If you don't have anyone trampling your boundaries and pressing your buttons on other planets, you can't learn boundaries. How are you going to learn boundaries? You can't learn boundaries.
Literally, the more problems you come down with, the bigger opportunity you have to just rise above and become the opposite and just stronger from it, and like amazing. Like I said, that's literally why I was born with BPD, because that's all about learning how to manage emotions and impulses, bad habits and addictions, and just everything you can think of. And so if you see the other side of that and to get to the other side of that, it's just awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah.
No, I said all sun.
Oh, all sun. I thought you said awesome. Okay, sorry.
Pisces are the closest to God.
Pisces. She's a Pisces. You guys are just trying to suck up to my daughter, Cherish. And Sweet and Sassy 35 sent 2 roses. Thank you, Sweet and Sassy 35. Oops.
Yes, babies are traumatized.
I think that was the name that just popped up super quick. Thank you so much for the rose. Thank you.
Read this comment.
Husky Kimberly again. She sent me a bunch of roses. What?
Read this comment.
That's probably why babies are always crying after they're born. Crap, I'm back on Earth.
I mean, they're
right.
They're traumatized coming back here. Like it's a traumatizing experience.
Oh my gosh. Okay, talking about babies being born on Earth and why they cry when they're here, I'm going to tell you guys a really quick story. So sometimes in my past life sessions, I'll always have the person like, okay, you died in that life. Where did you go next? What did you do? And they describe what it's like to go up to the spirit realm. Okay. And a lot of the stories are similar, and you can hear them if you listen to my sessions on YouTube, or especially if you go to patreon.com/woke lightworker and listen to some of my full sessions out there, my full hypnosis sessions. You can hear what people describe happens in between lives when they're in the spirit realm. So then we'll look around. Oh, thank you, Sweet and Sassy. More roses. I love roses. Are actually like her favorite flower. And roses are like super high vibe and frequency, just FYI. But okay, let me finish this story about babies. So then I'll take my client and I'll be like, okay, so when you go to the next life, what is it like? What is it like to be born? And I have led people through the birth canal to go back and watch themselves being born, coming through the birth canal. And I'm like, and they'll describe, like, some people will say, oh gosh, I literally barely slid my soul in just in time for the baby to pop out, right? Because a lot of souls, they pop in and out of the womb. They don't stay in the body. It's too cramped and it's too tight. And they're just like, yeah, I don't need to be there the whole time. Or mom's emotions are really negative. Like, I don't want to be in there. It feels uncomfortable. So they pop in and out a lot. Your soul will pop in and out. And so sometimes your soul will slide in literally just as the baby's coming out. And then other times they'll be there through the whole birthing thing. But our souls actually don't like to go through the birthing canal. And we, a lot of times wait until the baby's literally sliding out the last leg of the trip down the birth canal because we don't like it. But they say the first thing, they're like, oh, wow, it's so bright. And there's so much noise. It's just bright and it's noisy and it's cold. Those are the 3 things they always say. It's really bright, It's really noisy and it's really cold. And I'm crying because I hate this. They don't like the brightness, they don't like the cold, and they don't like the noise. And then a lot of times they're like, yeah, and there's this man like staring at me. So it's obviously the doctor like checking the baby out, and he's like turning me around and looking at me. And so they're looking at it from the baby's perspective, and it's super funny to listen to it from the baby's perspective. And then they take me over to this table and it's cold, and they stick me on this cold metal thing, and it's just miserable, and I'm crying because it's awful and it's cold and it's bright, and they're poking me everywhere. And then they describe how beautiful and peaceful it is when they're finally handed to mom, and how amazing it feels. And then I ask them questions like, do you feel like mom is happy you're there? Do you feel like mom really loves you? Like you're really loved and embraced and accepted? And so, wow, Husky Kimberly, she's like throwing roses at me. Thank you. Husky Kimberly sent me 16 roses. Oh, wow. And I was just informed by my operations manager that we already have over 100 people signed up for my free masterclass on Thursday. So keep it coming, guys. Seriously, like, I'm not just saying, like, I was crying at the first time I taught that class. I was literally bawling at the end of the class. I had to log off right away because I was bawling, because my heart was just so overflowing with like just love and gratitude at being able to teach you guys this stuff and bring it to you guys, how to consciously create a life you want to live, in 15 minutes a day. That's what I'm going to be teaching on this Thursday. So make sure you go to theconsciouscreatorspath.com, or get on my mailing list by going to wokelightworker.com. Get on my mailing list, and we'll send you a link to register for that free class this Thursday. And then also for my 4-week spiritual boot camp that I have starting November 8th. We'll send you a link for that too. She wants me to drink water. But yeah, we got already over 100 people signed up for Thursday. So that's awesome. And I know we had 178 people show up the first time I taught it 2 weeks ago. And that was an amazing class. Like, I loved being there. I had so much fun.
Oh, someone wants to see the book.
That's the journal that goes along with the class. It's called The Conscious Creator's Daily Journal. You can get it on Amazon, and the subtitle is Create a Life You Want in Just 15 Minutes a Day. So you can find it on Amazon, The Conscious Creator's Daily Journal on Amazon. Top viewers, my operations manager wants me to see that Alexander, and then Kimberly, and then April Knobs. Guys, you guys are amazing. I love you guys. I hope you guys follow me on Instagram and Facebook under Woke Light Worker.
Is there limited seating?
There is limited seating for my free class, but I can have up to 200 people come. And so we still have room for you guys. So go ahead and sign up. It is limited seating. Did you say no?
No, I just said yes, sign up.
Yeah, sign up. It is limited
Obviously,
seating.
you wouldn't have a poll too if it wasn't
Intuitive Matt. Oh, Matt. Intuitive Matt, you said, I love your work with all kinds of hearts on TikTok. I see you reposting my stuff and putting it on your story. I love that. I see you. I see you doing that. I do see you. I watch you guys. I see you guys. You can find me on Instagram too under wokelightworker.com.
If you feel drained, just you find.
What if you feel drained by yourself, even though I'm married with 3 kids? I mean, that could be unhealed trauma. That could be so many things. It's really finding out. But the key is, if you want to get out of that, you got to have quiet time, and you got to find at least one thing you're going to do for yourself every day. Just you, not anyone else. You've got to have yourself in the mix, and you've got to find quiet time for yourself. Like, that's a huge
do as
thing.
much for yourself that makes you feel love and happy and positive as possible. You have to put yourself first. Like, even with marriage and kids, you still have to remember.
You can't lose yourself.
Yeah, because still remember, you were a person before you made that life. You had your own life. You have to choose yourself, and you have to love yourself every day. When you wake up, just just keep a good mindset, positive self-talk. Just like, I'm gonna love this day. You know what? I'm gonna have a great day with my kids. I'm gonna have a great day with my husband, with my wife. I'm gonna do this for myself. I'm gonna go to this place. You know, what would make me happy today? What would make me feel good? Just constantly. If people don't see that as even an option, let alone a priority.
But you have to do it. No one's going to do it for you. And if you don't set the intention in the morning, what you're going to do, and I'm getting ahead of myself because that's one thing we talk about in Create a Life You Want to Live. That's one thing you have to do every day is you have to set the intention in the morning and you write it in your journal. What is one thing I'm going to do just for me today? Even if it's taking an extra long shower, and I'm going to make it a meditative shower, and I'm going to cleanse off all the stress, and I'm going to wash away all my worries, or whatever it is you want to set the intention of that shower.
Think about
Husky Kimberly, thank you for more roses. She's so
and
so
a Caroline sent a coin.
Oh yeah,
Alexander,
thank
top
you.
viewer.
Thank you, Caroline, for the coin. And set the intention, because if you don't set the intention, it's not going to happen. Like, you literally have to set the intention, and you got to make that a priority. Put that as a priority. Okay, when the kids are down for their nap, or when I send the kids off to school, I'm going to take the first 30 minutes. I'm going to do this. Lunch breaks, I would literally eat at my desk, because I wouldn't use my lunch break for eating. I would eat at my desk when I worked a matrix job. I would eat at my desk, and then I would take my lunch hour, and I would use that to go for a walk in the neighborhood where my office building was. And so there's always something you can do for yourself. Or after work, sometimes I joined boot camp. Or like at my office, I started a Weight Watchers group, because I was like, oh, Sweet and Sassy, thank you for the more roses. Or I started a boot camp at my office, because I was like, hey, how many people want to get together and have some good fitness after work? And I found a bunch of people. We got together and started a fitness boot camp. So there's always something you can do. What's something that you think would be super fun that you could fit in your schedule? Even, like I said, if it's going to the gym or swimming laps, like that's my big thing. I love going to the pool and swimming laps. What's something you can do that brings you joy that you could do every single day? And it doesn't have to be the same thing every day. Even if it's going out and outside, if you literally can only squeeze in 15 minutes, go outside and get some sun. Go outside and sit next to a tree, or talk to a tree, like we were talking about earlier. So much incredible beauty and wisdom you get by talking to trees, being open-minded and literally talking to the trees. I got a sub-star from 333 Alexander. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, like 9, 10, 11. Wow, thank you. And then Lex and Pinky sent some stars too. Gosh, you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much. I don't even really know, honestly, like what a lot of that stuff means, but I know it's pretty cool, so I appreciate it. Lex and Pinky sent more stuff. Minnie something and Crystal Clear sent, wow, roses, 8. Lex and Pinky. Oh gosh, you guys are sending me. Thank you guys. Let me see. Come inside of my journal. You guys want to see something inside my journal? Let me show you. So the inside of the journal looks like this. I'm going to hold it up the best I can, guys. I apologize if it's not a good picture. I mean, I'm doing this on my phone because I couldn't do TikTok live on my computer, so I could actually have a decent screen, because they don't let you. But so I'm going to show it on TikTok first, and then I'm going to show it on YouTube. So watch in just a second, guys. But this is what the inside page of my journal looks like.
Well, one of them.
Yeah, this is the page that you're going to be writing on every day, and this is the notes page. So here you're going to do one of these pages every single day with the activities, and then on the back side is notes. Like if you want to write any notes that come to you when you're meditating, or anything like that, any notes from your higher self. And then in the back is 33 pages of affirmations. So I have them categorized in different alphabetical order. So like there's abundance. The categories are abundance, business and support, confidence, being a conscious creator. And then I have goals, gratitude, healing, helping others, and oneness, joy, limitlessness and beliefs. There's love, perseverance and power, peace, purpose, present moment focus, self-love, lots of affirmations, like self-worth. I mean, here's a super simple one. I am worthy. I am a walking miracle. I love that one. My worth, I love this one, guys. My worth is established by God, not by anyone else. So remember that if anyone else, if you think you're being made to feel lesser than by anyone else, no. Just remind yourself, no, my worth is established by God, not by anyone else. Nothing that I do or don't do establishes my worth? Nothing. You're worthy. Oh my gosh. I will tell you what this person's higher self said today in her session, because self-worth was like her big thing. She started talking to me about how she feels worthless and doesn't feel worthy. And just in our intake session, when I got to learn about her, and she was crying about it, like that was one of her major goals that she wanted to overcome, was her feelings of worthlessness. And her higher self told her, just because you're alive, thank you, Husky Kimberly, again for more roses. Just because you are alive, you are worthy. And like what I heard someone say when I was little, God doesn't create ugly and God doesn't create junk. So bringing it down to little kid level, God doesn't create ugly and God doesn't create junk. So just because she's alive, her higher self told her she's worthy, and she needs to literally remember that and make it a choice to remember that she's worthy. And just because she's created, she's worthy. And I'm going to show everybody on YouTube now the pages. I'll try to get it up to the camera here. I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's the inside of my journal. Here's the notes page. And then I have, like I said, 33 pages of affirmations in the back. Here's some more, like being a conscious creator. I love my conscious creator ones. I love them. This is my favorite one. I use this affirmation a lot. My life is an epic trail of creation. Like, I love that affirmation. My life is an epic trail of creation. I am the authority of my own life. No one else has any control over me. I'm the authority of my own life. I choose to participate in the creation of my life. So like my daughter keeps saying here, you create the life that you want to live.
Yeah.
Are we going to say anything else?
Everything.
Husky Kimberly, oh my gosh, she keeps throwing more roses at me. So awesome. Thank you. Let's see what other questions we have.
Teaching kids self-love.
Yeah, if you guys look in the comments, if you're on TikTok and you look at the comments, my incredible operations manager, Christopher, just put a link out there. It says the Conscious Creators Daily Journal. You can get it here. And then he has the link to Amazon. So if you want to buy my journal, it's out on Amazon, the Conscious Creators Daily Journal. And of course, under my name, Tracy Ventura. So thank you, Chris, for putting that out there and for hanging around so long while I'm doing this. Lex and Pingy sent a mirror. This is just so good. I need to keep this in mind, Husky Kimberly said. And eco meditation. Oh yeah, if you guys want to find the eco meditation, it's not my meditation. It's this man named Dawson Church. This man. YouTube is trying to send me roses because they don't have roses like TikTok does. They're sending me emojis of roses. I love it. Thank you. If you guys want to find the Eco Meditation by Dawson Church, you can go to my website, wokelightworker.com. Click on the tab that says meditations, and I put a link to, I think there's several of his meditations out there, the Eco Meditation, but the one I like the best is the one I have on my website, wokelightworker.com. That's my name across all social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, patreon.com/wokelightworker. It's on all of them. Pinterest, Facebook. Join my Facebook page, guys, because if you don't want to miss registration being open for any of my classes, definitely join. Follow me on Facebook on Woke Lightworker, because I'm going to be, and now I announce all my classes on my Facebook page and on my Instagram page. So you can find them on Instagram or Facebook when registration is open for my Radical Self-Love class, for my Being Your Higher Self class, for my Manipulator and Gaslighter class in December. And then don't forget, starting November 8th is my 4-week Spiritual Awakening Bootcamp and my free class this Thursday, November 3rd, Create a Life You Want to Live. So register for that at theconsciouscreatorspath.com or go in my website, wokelightworker.com, and just give me your email address. You will get a notification when my classes are coming up, all of them, if you're on my email list. And I promise not to send you stupid emails like, oh yeah, today I did this. I'm just going to notify you of upcoming classes. And when I go live or something like that, I'll just notify you guys of that.
Wait, I want to point out that comment.
What?
They say that the goal is not clearing the mind. It's letting go of the thought, I guess. That's so much more important than people think, because letting go of the thought and clearing the mind. Clearing the mind is after, and you do need to clear the mind from what you've already experienced, but letting go of the thought is in the moment, every situation, every talk, every emotion, every
It's a
daily,
choice if you're going to hold
it's a
on to it and
daily-
mull a thought over and a belief over.
Yeah,
You can choose to let go of it.
Yeah, it's a daily choice in every situation, letting go of the thought every time. It's not a one-time thing. Or like every once in a while, oh, I'm gonna clean my house. No, it's like when you pick up things, messes from that hour, instead of like deep cleaning your house once in a while.
Right.
You do both, right? It's the same thing with your mind. In the moment, you let go of that negative thought. You say, you know what? I don't want this negative thought in my head. I don't want this negative energy. You know what? Creator, stop this and cleanse it completely. Get it out of my energy field. I don't want it. I don't want this. I have better things to worry about. I have better things to feel. I am here to experience a good life.
Joy.
Yes,
I just want joy.
Choose joy.
And you know
over
what?
and over
That's
and
the
over.
other thing. Another scripture that comes to my mind. Oh yeah, he said, "Don't crumple this." He could hear it on the screen.
Oh,
So
my bad.
something that another scripture that comes to my mind is whatever is, and I don't know the exact scripture, but it's something like whatever is lovely, whatever is pure, whatever is of good repute. And it lists all these good things. And it says, think on these things. Don't think on what is past, forgetting the past and pressing on to that which lies ahead. And so, coming from a Christian background, I told you my spirit team will remind me of scriptures that are completely relevant for my life. And that's one thing you want to keep in mind, and just be thinking on the good things and the positive things. And don't sit there and mull things over in your mind. The only one that can choose your thoughts is you. And you get to choose either you're going to keep those thoughts in your mind. Thank you, Husky Kimberly. Oh my gosh, she sent me a star now. The only person that can choose your thoughts is you. No one else is in your brain. No one else controls your thoughts. I just saw another rose come in and your name went by so fast. Alisa Fata. I'm sorry if I'm slaughtering the name of that. Thank you for the 2 roses on TikTok.
Alicia.
But the only one that can control that is you. And you can either let those thoughts stay in your mind or you can get rid of them. And it's completely your choice. No one's going to make you keep a thought and no one's going to push a thought out of your mind. It's 100% on you. And thank you. Wow, 6 roses. Thank you. And so it's a personal responsibility. We have to take accountability that this is our life. Oh my gosh, Kimberly again. Husky Kimberly, you're so awesome. It's a personal accountability. We are 100% responsible for every single thought that comes in our mind and every action we take and every word that comes out of our mouth. And we can blame it on, well, you made me feel that way, or you made me do this, or you made me do that. But of course, we know for a fact that no one else can make us do any of those things.
They're a lesson to see how you will react, and you're reacting that way because you choose to, and then that's why they're there. And that's why if you react like that, they're going to come back, they're going to do it again, they're going to say it again, you're going to keep experiencing that so that you can redo it until you get it, and you choose the better, lighter option. And with lives, you're going to keep repeating until you choose all of the lighter options, until you literally can't even, you have no negativity, no darker choice anymore. You are simply just light. And that's when you are, that's the whole point, to just return the complete light.
She said, "Oh my God, you look like the beautiful actress from National Lampoon Vacation." I don't know.
I don't even know who that is. I've never been told I look like anybody.
I don't know. Do you see Mom's reflection on her love? This, she thought her so good. Is this a prison planet? Reincarnation until we're perfect? Well, it's a school. Let's just call it a school. Some people call it a prison planet. If you want to look at it negatively, you can say it's a prison planet. It is a planet where you get trapped with karma. But when you get all that karma balanced, and this is the key, guys, When you no longer need duality to be your teacher, you no longer need to come to this school. So when you balance all the karma and you no longer need duality or contrast to be your teacher, and you pass all 12 grades, you don't need to come here. So you kind of, it's like almost like you set this curriculum with your team. Okay, these are the things I'm going to learn on planet Earth. And you might do some lives here and then go to this other planet for, however many years. And you might go to other places, but you come back to finish your curriculum. So you might take a semester off and then you come back. But duality and contrast are the biggest teachers on this planet. And that is good and bad, light and dark. When you no longer need duality, when you rise above duality, you don't need duality to be your teacher anymore. You don't come back. What?
They were talking about you.
Oh, me?
You look like someone like from some show.
From National Lampoon. Oh, yeah.
Wait,
I don't know.
Let me search that up. Who is that?
No.
Wait. How do you spell it?
National Lampoon. Anyway.
Okay, just keep talking.
Just look at it later. It's fine. Do you know what deja vu is? I keep getting it, but I'm just curious. I don't actually know, and I have never asked in a session. That would be a super fun question.
We know what it is.
Well, it can be different things for different people, though.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I've learned so far. It could actually be because we rehearse our lives on Earth many times over with the characters, sometimes that we're going to be incarnating with. And so it could be you remembering a rehearsal. You're like, wait a minute, I've done this scene before. Oh, yeah. Okay, we see the picture on National Lampoon Vacation. That's funny. So it could be that you guys are remembering a rehearsal that you had in the spirit realm when you were doing some pre-birth planning. It could be that. It could be a parallel life kind of bleeding over. Today in my session, my client was a teenager and she kept having the same dream over and over of all of her family and friends abandoning her. And so we asked her higher self, what was that about? Like, why did she keep having that dream? And her higher self told her it was, I forgot the word, precognizance of her seeing something that was going to happen in her future. And it was her coming out and telling her family that she was lesbian, and her family was from a very strict religious background. And she also woke up spiritually, like not long after that. And from a very religious family, they just were like, about both of those things. And so a lot of her family and friends turned their backs on her and abandoned her. And so those dreams it was kind of preparing her. It was like her soul telling her, yeah, this is going to be coming, by the way. And so I thought that was interesting. But I mean, we can think that it's a lot of different things, but we never actually truly know because it can be different for every single person, So any kind of dream interpretation or anything like that, like I see dream interpretation books and I'm like, yeah, no. I've seen so many people's higher selves interpret dreams completely differently than a dream interpretation book would do, because it's specific to them in their life that I don't even like. I would never even pick up a dream interpretation book or even take a dream interpretation class, because it's literally, from the work I've seen, every time we ask about dreams, it's not even anything related to anything you'd find in a dream interpretation book. It's completely individual and specific to that person.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even need a book or anything. Like, you literally, like, when you wake up and you remember it, just think, what could that mean possibly? And just
ask your team too. Ask your team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like just ask. Just ask source, just right away when you wake up, just what does that make me feel? What does that mean? What am I feeling from it? What am I seeing from it? What am I hearing from it? And just trust what you hear, feel, and see.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll know. I mean, like, intuitively, like, whether it's past, present, or future. Mm-hmm. You'll know.
And going back to something my daughter was saying a little bit earlier is I see people in my sessions looping around, repeating the same lessons, not the exact same circumstances, because in some lives they're males, some lives they're females, it's different. But they keep coming around and looping around and repeating the same patterns over and over and over. It might be a lesson on forgiveness. It might be a lesson on unconditional love. It might be a lesson on, whatever, self-worth.
For example, mother and daughter.
Yeah, mother and daughter.
around
Her and
the
I
house.
have incarnated a number of times together, and
Yeah.
we're like trying to smooth it out and work it out.
Yeah, we're
this
mother
time.
and daughter nonstop, like switching back and forth, like life after life after life after dimension, and like we reincarnate on other planets with each other and everything, and we just like.
And in this
we
life,
so-
she gets to play the difficult daughter.
but you're okay. You're mainly like since you found spirituality, you used to be really difficult, like really difficult. But
I was a
then-
different person.
Yeah. But then you found spirituality. You've been a lot better since. But I mean, you still have like difficult traits.
I'm not. I'm a perfect mom. I really am.
You still have difficult traits. I'm definitely really difficult, but like I mean,
yeah, you heard her. I heard
but once
her.
again, like I know why I was meant to be really difficult because one, for you, for me, and just
Lucky
for the
me.
planet, like I'm meant to be so difficult because if I don't overcome
Thank
the
you,
worst,
Husky Kimberly.
if I don't overcome the worst things, and if you don't like what you had to, like if
Yeah.
we don't overcome the worst things, then we can't help other people
Right.
who are going through the worst things.
Yeah.
And yeah, but so hopefully we don't have to reincarnate as a mother and daughter again.
Yeah. No, I think this is my last life here. And it's funny because
Yeah,
a lot of
this
people
is
think this is their last life here. And then they get told by their higher self, yeah, it's not. It's
You-
not. It's not.
I dragged her here. I made her come here. She didn't want to.
So make sure you guys, I'm going to wrap it up here in just a little bit, but guys, please go to my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, click that subscribe button because I want you guys to see when I post new videos, and I have a lot more client testimonials. People are asking me for client testimonials. What is it like when you come out of a session? What did it feel like? How did it feel like to you? Oh my gosh, I have so many videos coming. I'm going to show you guys of my clients talking to me right when they come out of hypnosis, what it feels like for them when they come out of hypnosis. And I'm going to get more and more and more testimonials like that. And then have, like I said, my new sessions go on patreon.com. And then, but go to my YouTube, Woke Lightworker, and subscribe to my Woke Lightworker channel. And don't forget to join me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, all by the name Woke Lightworker. So cool to see you live. Love your work. You all are so funny. Thank you, Tia. Was that Tia Beanie? Yeah. How often do you do lives? What do you mean?
This
how
is
often
her
do you do
first
lives?
live, but you know what?
Oh, lives, as in lives.
She's gonna do
lives.
them a lot now.
She wants to be on camera. She's practicing to be a famous actress. You
Well,
guys, okay, I
everything.
promise, because I'm going to promise for you. She has an incredible singing voice. I want you guys to hear her sing sometime. Like, I want to get her on a
Well-
live one time just to sing a little bit for you guys to like give a little piece because she wants to be a famous singer someday. Like,
Singer, actor, entrepreneur, model, spiritual healer, spiritual talker, just self-motivational talker, everything you could possibly think of.
and then don't forget, guys, the website. You can go to my website, wokelightworker.com, give me your email address, and I'll send you emails every time I have one of my courses. But don't forget my free course this Thursday. Go register, theconsciouscreatorspath.com, or go to my website. Give me your email address. I promise I'll email you a link to register. Then November 8th is beginning my 4-week spiritual boot camp. December 6th is my gaslighting and manipulator narcissism 2-hour class, super inexpensive for 2 hours. January, how to live and be as your higher self. Give me your email address. I'll let you know when registration is open. And February, radical self-love for 4 weeks. And then March is going to be healing. I don't know if it'll be more physical healing, emotional healing, maybe a little bit of both. I have to think about that yet. Physical healing can take a lot of time. So make sure you guys get me your email address. Go to wokelightworker.com, click on the contact tab, leave me your email address, or go into my TikTok or Instagram link. And you guys, if you click on the link there, it will take you to a place where you can leave your email for me and your name so I can notify you, or join me on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll notify you when registration's open for these different classes too. And then don't forget, on Amazon, my Conscious Creators Daily Journal, we're going to be working out of this. You don't have to have it, but it's going to make it easier. And remember, I'm starting a private group that's going to be free. We're going to meet once a month for 6 months for everyone who buys my journal and wants to work for 15 minutes a day to create an entirely new life for themselves. We're going to be accountability partners, going to give you an hour of coaching. If you want to be part of that mini group, I'm going to be doing once a month, the third Thursday of every month.
What? I just like went to go up to Source and like just shot me right there. Like we're already there. Like we're like literally at Source level.
Oh,
right
before
now.
we started this live, my daughter and I took everyone up to seventh. It's called Seventh Plane. If you know Theta Healing by Anna Stibel's method. Took us up to seventh plane so that we could be in creator space, in the space of source.
And I asked creator to like I just see like big hands over your head and just filling you with information, letting your words flow easy, easing you of any anxiety, any fear, any doubt. And I asked Archangel Uriel, who is the angel of words, to help your words flow out. He's like just creator to talk through you. And when I was sitting over there, I asked creator to help me help you in any way that like if I see like your ego mind trying to like slip you up, and creator just like pulled me over here. It was like, no, you're doing this with her.
Yeah, she was going to be sitting in the chair watching, and now she's very much a part of it.
I didn't think I would be, but
in order to join my private group, guys, you have to be in my class on Thursday, November 3rd, to get the instructions on how to join my private group and to be sent a link. Plus, you're also going to get like a super special deal on something that I'm not going to tell you until you come to my class. You got to be there on November 3rd to find out those two things: how to be part of my private group with an hour free coaching on how to change your life in 15 minutes a day for 6 months. We're going to do that. And then to get the super special deal, you have to be in my class too. So November 3rd, that's 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Register. You can go to theconsciouscreatorspath.com and
drink your water. Drinking water is so good for you. You have to drink.
Higher Self says that all the time.
Yes. Water. Speaking of, drink this water.
Esther Kimberly sent me so many roses. Thank you. I appreciate everyone on TikTok. Like, I appreciate so much you guys giving me all the coins and the roses and the different gifts that you did. That's not why I'm doing this. Like, I truly love talking all things spiritual, and I do it all the time anyway.
And helping people.
And I'm just so excited about the spiritual journey that I've been able to be led on and that my spirit team leads me on. And wow, Lex caught up with 70 coins. Wow, thank you, Lex. Thank you so much. That I just love sharing this stuff, because I'm telling you guys, I came from, like, my life was, I have a lot of trauma. I've had a lot of trauma in my life, and I've had physical things that were quote unquote incurable. And I was just determined, and I sought out ways to find healing. And I just want to share it with anyone and everyone who's open to it. And if you're not open to it, you're not open to it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not attached to your journey. I'm not going to be upset. You know, if it's not for you, it's okay. Like, it wasn't for me at some point. Oh my gosh, when I was a Christian, guys, if you didn't, I knew, Stephanie H., thank you for the coins. If you didn't invite Jesus into your heart as a Christian, I fully 100% believed you were going to go to this place called hell. Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember
for the rose. Thank you.
You were in the shower. I remember specifically, like, one time you were in the shower, and like, I was like, I like put the toilet seat down and like just was like sitting there with like my knees up, and like you had me like recite this whole thing to cleanse, like to become sin free and cleansed and be able to be with like God and Jesus,
which is fine. And we love everyone where they're at. Literally. Yeah. I mean, I'm so glad I had Christianity, like I said, as my background.
Yeah, it's a great religion. I mean, it's so similar.
I'm really glad I did. And we never judge anyone else, because we're all one, and we don't want to judge anyone else where they're at and think that we're any better or we're any further along or anything like that. We just literally let everyone walk the journey. Thank you, Husky Kimberly, again. We let everyone be walking their journey how they want to walk it. It's totally fine. Everything is perfect as it is. You're perfect as you are. They're perfect as they are, and everything's fine. The only journey we ever need to be concerned about is our own. And it's none of our business what anyone else does in their journey or how they want to walk their journey. That is none of our business.
And if they're in your journey, then they're there for a reason and and they have a purpose with you. So whether it seems like it's a negative purpose and it's to bring you down, in the end, if you want that to be your reality, it will be to bring you up. And they have people in their lives trying to teach them lessons, and they became negative because of it instead of positive. You don't have to. So everyone in your life, every part of your life is there for the better in the end. No matter what it looks like, no matter what people there are.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, we're going to end it here because I have a session in the morning and my sessions are all day long and it takes a lot of energy to do these sessions, and I need to get up and do some stretching because now I've been sitting here for like 2.5 hours. But thank you to Cherish, my daughter, for being here in this live. She'll come and join me more, I'm sure, now.
Seriously.
Oh, thank you, 333 Alexander and Husky Kimberly. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for
more
the gifts
lives,
on TikTok.
Please.
More lives. I'm going to do more lives. I will. I promise, guys. I will. But make sure, join my free class November 3rd. Go to my website, wokelightworker.com. If you guys are on YouTube, go to my website, wokelightworker.com, or join my Facebook page or my Instagram or my TikTok under the name Woke Lightworker, because then you can be notified of when I'm going to go live. So I do put notifications out there when I'm going to go live. So you know when I'm going to go live. I'll always announce it first. And I try to post hypnosis stories every day on my TikTok and my, not on my Instagram, I don't, but on my TikTok every single day I try. I didn't post one today because I was doing this and I came directly from a session, but at least 5-6 days a week, I'm trying to post little tidbits of TikTok stories, of hypnosis stories on my TikTok. So TikTok's is the one I keep updated the most, but to be notified of courses and when I'm going live, you're going to get that on Instagram and Facebook the most. So are we good? Are we good to end? Anybody else?
If you seriously want to start your kids on a spiritual journey, and even just with, it can be simply just learning self-love at a young age. It doesn't even have to be like spiritual, like too deep. Like it can be whatever you want it to be. Seriously, I will be a teacher for your kids, and I will start out. I'll free. Like I'm here to spread positivity and love and healing.
Yeah.
So literally,
we'll work
DM
on that.
her on Instagram.
Yeah. If you guys DM me on Instagram or TikTok or anything like that, if you want your kids to, we'll find a time when, if you want, and of course you sit in on it. Make sure you're okay with everything that's being taught. In Creator's Divine Timing, Cherish can start, just sharing light and love and a kid level, have a 15-year-old maybe relate better to the kids, right? They'll listen to somebody because they don't always want to listen to
Remember,
the parents.
I'm an old soul in a 15-year-old body, and like I'm aware of what I'm here to do, so I can be a teacher.
Oh, Cherish, they want you to infinitely Alexia said create a channel on TikTok.
Well, I would if I had a phone.
Oh yeah, she kind of lost her phone.
Yeah, and I was gonna start a singing TikTok too, but no.
We'll have to see. Maybe I can let her use my phone to create a TikTok channel.
What I was gonna say before, adding on to whatever you were saying, is like, I mean, it's basically what I was saying, but yeah, the energy that is drawn to you, if you, let me think of how to word this. You create your reality, right? So you choose what energy you want to draw in. And even if you think like, oh, why would I choose this energy to draw in? You did.
Or this lesson, right?
Yes. And so, but you have to trust that every energy.
333 Alexander, no way. Do not send my daughter a phone by mail. Do not. No.
Please do
No.
Please.
She's got a phone, but
Please.
she got it taken away. She's having a hard time fitting into this planet Earth and going to school because she's gone to school for hundreds of lives and she's just done and over school. And so we're just working on that and needing to go to school and do your schoolwork. So she just wants to do all things spiritual and music.
To follow my heart.
So anyway, she's wise beyond her years. Yeah, because she's a blue avian. We've been there talking about that. Lessons are hard being a human. And then Leah said, yeah, been there. So on TikTok, she said, been there.
And if anyone knows
and then Janae said she came from TikTok. I love that. Love it. Yeah, she is very wise.
If anyone knows anything about the laws,
okay, no, we're gonna talk laws because that's a whole other topic. If you guys want to learn about the laws sometime, we can talk on TikTok and YouTube and YouTube. I'm just saying for the people who do know about the laws.
Yeah, the laws are amazing.
Laws are amazing.
Beth, the Theta healing teacher, told my mom that I spend most of my time in the laws. Like that's where I like reincarnated and being.
And the laws are very black and white.
Yeah,
right? and they're black and white.
For Pyra, you know that BPD is so black and white. Black and white. It's crazy. The intensity of just black or white, the most intense. And so that's what I'm most familiar with. And I was like, oh, okay, that's perfect. That is exactly what I need here.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that till now. That just came to me.
We'll talk more infinitely, Alexia. We'll talk more on another live about the laws. The laws are amazing. Like I love the law of truth. Like that's my favorite law, the law of truth. You have
Mine
the law
is
of
law of compassion.
Oh, law of compassion. And then you have the law of magnetism, which includes the law of attraction. You have the law of time. Yeah, like there's a lot of laws. But
I've been asking the law of time to work with me in my sleep on my time.
Yeah. Speaking of sleep, we're gonna have to go because this little girl's got to get to bed, and I've got a session in the morning. But I want to thank everyone for being here live on YouTube. I love you guys on YouTube. Connection struggle, the biggest contrast. Listen to your mother cheers. Just finished school, Wild Interior said. Thank you, Husky Kimberly, for so many roses. All you guys for your gifts. Like, I see you all. I see you all sending the gifts, and I thank you so much. Like, I really love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. 333 Alexander, thank you for more roses. You're the best. And don't mail my daughter a phone.
Please, like,
and no, don't mail her a phone.
This is an illusion. So
don't mail her a phone.
So why would you even keep my phone anyway? It's an illusion.
Okay. So I'll announce, guys, again, I will announce on Instagram and TikTok when I'm going to go live next. It'll probably be in another couple weeks. I'll go live. Or maybe in another week. Maybe I'll go live next week. We'll see. But I'll announce it on there so you guys know when I'm going to go live. So I love you all so much. I hope you guys have a great night. Beautiful, sweet, wonderful, lovely dreams. Don't forget to shield your house, shield your body. Ask your spirit guides to stand guard around your body while you sleep. And put a shield around yourself from all spiritual creepy crawlers to keep them away from you when you're sleeping tonight. Okay. I love all you guys, and I'll see you on TikTok, and I'll see you in my free class Thursday, November 3rd, Conscious Creators Path, theconsciouscreatorspath.com to register, or my website, wokelightworker.com. Go give me your email address. I'll send you the link to register for my free class, Create a Life You Want to Live. Okay. So make sure you guys register. I totally look forward to seeing you all then. I love you guys. Good night. I gotta figure out how to end it.
Okay.
This is our first live, so we gotta figure out how to end it.
Bye.
There we go. Bye. Okay, YouTube, you guys are the last one to hit end. I love you guys. Let's see if there's any. Couldn't read over the cord of the comments. That's crazy.
She was like, no, I said it's crazy because she was like, I wonder
how chaotic it is on TikTok. Yeah, there were so many comments coming on TikTok that were just like flying at me. It was crazy.
And she's not used to this technology, anything. Like,
okay. TikTok doesn't even get to hear all this. This is just YouTube now. I love you guys. We only have 8 people left right now, but I love you. You guys are like my diehards. I love you guys on YouTube. Make sure you guys go on my TikTok. Join me on TikTok. That's where I post most of my videos. But keep on YouTube too, because I don't post my testimonials videos on TikTok. Those are only on YouTube because the YouTube, I get to obviously post the longer ones, and my sessions are out here. But don't forget to check out my Patreon too. I hope to see you guys all Thursday in my class, theconsciouscreatorspath.com. Love you guys. Good night.